You got a lot going on in this building, huh?
Yeah, today they have a watch party for the game.
Oh, for the Falcons game?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Right? People come up in here.
Hmm?
I was like, get people come up in here. All right.
How's your chess game?
Not. I need to play chess.
We got to get you on the board. The queen is 7 times more powerful than the king. What the queen can do in one move, the king will take 7. Take them all day.
Really?
She can do it in one move.
The queen can go anywhere on the board?
Yeah.
Like
Anywhere in a straight line. Anywhere.
Oh, in a straight line.
In a straight line. Anywhere.
Okay.
Seven times more powerful than the king.
Okay. You hear yourself?
There you go. This lady told me, she said, anytime you got to sign a big contract, always take a female with you.
Well, that sounds like the
Yeah, so how
opposite
did
to
you
me.
get the
I feel
contract?
like
I said, I thought you came without me, and I brought a female with me. I was at this event, and I paid these 2 supermodels to escort me in. And the celebrity said, "Oh my God, can you come up on stage? How did you do that?" I knew how to get him to pull me up on stage. It cost me $43 to have those ladies escort me.
wow.
You gotta be strategic about the moves you make.
It's good to see you.
Oh, you too. It's nice to see you as well. How you been though?
Awesome.
Doing good.
I'll catch up with you.
Okay.
I
Are you up? Are you going up there?
You're with the right person, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Powerful.
no, I
That's all in
received
one
that.
word.
I received
Wait a
that.
minute.
I want to reach out to you. We met.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Exactly. Exactly. I like this dude. He's good.
What's that? I'll get in touch with you.
Is everything ready for December 6th?
Almost. Yep. I'm so excited. All I know is we still got more stuff we getting together, but man, it's gonna be so nice.
Looking forward to it.
I know, right? Ooh, you got your outfit. I don't even know what I'm wearing, but I'm wearing 2 different things. I know.
Yeah, I picked it out, consulted my stylist.
Okay, stylist. Okay, yes, that's what I like to hear. Yeah, don't come shabby now. Okay,
She won't let me.
okay. Is that your wife?
No,
Oh,
her
okay.
friend. She's
Oh, okay.
for our wedding.
Oh, really?
Our engagement photo shoot. Anytime I have a professional photo shoot.
Uh-huh.
So she
Oh,
wants to be
that's
a
what's up.
professional stylist. So we're like, as we continue to grow.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. That's what's up. Okay. Who is it? You first. Okay. All right, we're about to get ready to go, y'all. I'm just making sure. Let's see here. Yes. Let me know. Hello, everybody that's watching us live. Welcome in. We're going to be getting started, y'all, right now. Go ahead and put your city and state in the chat. Let us know where you're chiming in from as we get ready to get a rocking and rolling. Oh. Hey, I'm just amazing. Of course you are. Question: is there a way to turn the jazz music down in there or no?
Yeah, hold up. Let me add some words for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, again, everybody, welcome on in. We're getting started right now. Y'all can't hear the jazz music, but we can. And so. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and get started. How y'all doing? Good. Okay, so my name is Taria Avant, and this is our last pop-up workshop of the year. Shout out to everybody that's watching online. Everybody say, hey, y'all online. And so the purpose of doing these pop-up workshops, first of all, let me just explain. So I am a coach, right? I don't know. I really don't care about titles, but if we just say what it is, I'm a coach. And one of the things that I teach our BPC, also known as Book Profits Club members, is doing live events. A lot of times, and raise your hand if you are a speaker or want to be. Raise your hand. Anybody here? Okay. A lot of times as speakers, we wait for other people to say, hey, can you come and speak at my event? But I was able to build a 6-figure business by doing small, intimate workshops by myself, right? And so I'm always stressing to the team. I'm like, listen, we got to do at least one. How many workshops per month? At least one workshop per month minimum. I was doing 4 to 6 though, right? But at least one. And so instead of me doing a workshop where I just do it by myself, I said, you know what, let's do a pop-up workshop, because a lot of times we overthink these events. We make them way more complicated. It don't have to be. It could be, in fact, when I was doing the pop-up workshops, I wasn't even doing a talk. I just literally would say, here, everybody give me some questions, pass them up, and let's answer them, right? And so it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. But today, everybody say today, I've got some really dope people that are here from out of town and some in town, okay? And so we're going to first start off with this young lady who is here from Dallas. Well, I just say Dallas because that's the closest, right? It's close enough. Dallas, Texas, okay? And so she actually was in town because we just had our Book Profits Club Mastermind, which we'll talk a little bit about that later on because it was just amazing. I mean, I'm just going to say it was, okay? It was, okay, good. Okay, so it was amazing. But y'all, she is working with women who have gone through a divorce. Anybody here gone through a divorce or know someone? Okay, that's okay. You can just raise it like this way. Okay, you can sideways that way. And in that process, it's a journey, right? I mean, shoot, I went through a breakup. It felt like I was going through a divorce because he was supposed to be my husband in my mind. I don't think he is though. It was okay. Let's not even worry about him. He's corny. Okay, so, but no, she's helping women that have gone through a divorce or going through a divorce. Isn't that a great space? We don't have a lot of people that are really tailoring and talking to women in that space. And so she is an author, she is a speaker, and she is a world changer. Everybody, let's give it up for Brittany Petty. I'm sorry, Brittany Bossa. Let's give it up.
All right, guys. Yes, that was an amazing introduction. Let's first give it up for Taria. She works so hard, y'all. Behind the scenes, this woman is super incredible. We're like, we want to work because she works so hard. And like we said, her mastermind was super amazing. So, yes. So again, I am Brittany Bossup, and I work with divorced women, helping them to thrive in their wealth and wellness so they can achieve transformational healing. That's what we're working on today. But today we're also working on how to overcome setbacks. How many of us have ever had a time in our life, by show of hands, where we felt like, I just want to throw in the towel, I'm done, close the computer, throw it across the room, I'm done. We all have been there, but you didn't do that, right? And you didn't do that because you realized, you know what, it's time for me. I need to do. If I don't take this step, if I don't take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of me, then I'm going to be stuck in the same place. And that is what has happened to so many people. Did you know that 82% of people are suffering from the imposter syndrome? 82%. So what that means is more than half of us in here today, you're imposters. You are an imposter. Just think about it. When was the last time you were on social media and you saw somebody post something that you were like, you and your mama know that is not real? Show me by hands. If you was scrolling on social media and you was like, I know they lying. Okay, they just asked me for money. How you, that don't even make sense, right? We all been there. And so that's why today we're going to take the time to talk about how to unapologetically thrive and be you, be the real you, okay? Will Demetrio, he talked about how authenticity means you're either real or you're fake, okay? You can't be both. You have to choose. So the question today is, who are you? Are you the real or are you the imposter? That's the question. So today we're going to talk about how to stop the imposter syndrome. So I want y'all to do this with me. Say, stop the imposter syndrome. Okay. Then we're going to have to talk about how to mentally break free. So I want y'all to do that with me. Mentally break free. Yes. Okay. Then we're going to talk about how to tap in. I want y'all to do that with me. Tap in. Tap into the 5 A's. Okay. But before we do that, can I tell you a little bit about myself? Okay. Thank you. I'm going to tell you a little bit. Okay. So today you're looking at the unapologetic version of me. Okay. I'm a podcaster. I'm a certified wealth and wellness coach, a licensed professional counselor, a mom of 4, author. Yes. Podcaster, all of that. And an international keynote speaker, and the list goes on and on. But I haven't always been like this. Not always. Okay. Growing up, I went through a lot of mental and physical abuse. And one time I remember I was trying to be my authentic self, y'all. And I'm sitting in my Spanish class. I did not do my work. I didn't do it ahead of time. So we had this little rotation. If one person didn't do the assignment, somebody else would do it. Anybody want to tell your story? Thank you for being real. Yes, we are. We used to be like, if I do this, this is A. If I do this, this is B. All that stuff, right? So this day I didn't do my assignment, and usually I was the one who would do my work, right? So the teacher caught us cheating. So she called my mom. My mom said she was going to beat me if I didn't tell the truth. So y'all, I'm trying to be authentic because I'm like, no, this time I did not. I'm the one that was cheating. I didn't do my assignment. So I took that beating, y'all. But I was trying to be real. And how many of us know in life when we are trying to be our authentic self that it comes with some type of circumstance where we just have to push through, right? We have to make compromises. And when you are trying to be authentic, it's not always the easiest thing to do, right? But you have to push through. You have to do that because you have some type of values. And people who don't have values, nope. So they already showed you who they are. As we know that phrase, when people show you who they are, you have to what? Believe it. Thank you for saying that the first time. Not the 12th time, but the first time. And that is so important. That can save us from so many different things that we might go through in our life. Okay. So then, growing up, I was the oldest in my family. And when you're the oldest, a lot of times you take on a lot of roles and responsibilities. And so when I look back at that, that made me a people pleaser. I realized that I just did, and I became a people pleaser. But how many of us know that's not necessarily a good thing, especially when people take advantage of you? And so I talk about a lot of times how if you are selfish and that other person or you're put other people before us, who's not happy? We're not. That's right. We're not. But we keep telling people yes and saying yes and showing up and doing all this stuff, but then that leaves us so depleted. So let's go ahead and get into the stop the imposter syndrome, the first part, okay? So y'all do that with me. Say stop the imposter syndrome. All right, so in order to stop the imposter syndrome, it goes to 3 C's, okay? So your first C is that you have to clarify the roots, okay? And so when we talk about clarifying the root, we have to think about being able to look and be real at where we came from, our cultural beginnings. Because we all know, or most of us know, that what happens in this house growing up, what stays in this house, right? And so that leads you to being an adult who is what? Not able to express your emotions, not all kind of things, all type of relationship issues, all kind of problems, not being able to really tap into what you are feeling in that moment. And so as a licensed professional counselor, that is one thing we deal with a lot. Is a lot of times people have just swept things under the rug. But underneath all of that, there's so much more. And a lot of times it always goes back to your childhood. So when you're able to understand that, then that helps you to go to our second C, okay? And our second C is choose. You have to choose you. So once you have looked at your root, now you can choose yourself. That means you are choosing to create this new identity. You're choosing to say no when you really want to say no without giving people an explanation. We've all been there at some point in our lives where we felt like we need to give people an explanation. And how many of us know that people don't even care about your explanation? The fact that you said no, they're like, all right then, whatever. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you the reason why. But they don't care. And so we have to stop putting other people's opinions and their views above our own. So, all right, then that brings us to our third C. All right, this is the one I love because this one is your creation. You get to create your new narrative. That means you get to live by your own freeness. Be unapologetically you. Get to pick what it is that you truly want to do and be. You get that choice. I'll never forget when I was getting ready to make my decision and I was talking to my aunt and she told me, she said, you know what, your childhood, that was not by choice. But anything that you're dealing with in your adulthood, that's a choice. And I had to realize, like, I'm living in chaos. All this stuff is going on. But I have to really be real with myself and say, okay, she's right. I have a choice. I don't have to keep putting up with all of this, regardless of what other people are going to say or think. You have the power to choose you. So what I want you guys to say, I have the power. Oh, no, I need to say it a little better. I have the power to choose me. That was good. I want y'all to say it all together. I have the power to choose me. All right. So now we're going to go to our next one. What was our next one? To mentally break free. Yep. Y'all got to do it with me. Mentally break free. Yes. All right. So the first part of mentally breaking free is understanding that your mind is a wall. So with that wall, you get the power to decide what can come in and what can leave. So there are certain things that break down those walls mentally, such as anxiety, depression, but it's even deeper. Unforgiveness, holding on to bitterness. I'll never forget a guy told a story how he did something. He was a child. It was something that he did. He took somebody's candy or something like that at school. Do you know he ran into one of his old classmates at the store and he's like, hey, man, what's up? What's up? And the dude was like, all because he was holding on to the fact that he had taken his candy 20 years ago. He was like, I don't even remember that. So who really got the problem, right? But it's important for us to know, like, we have to learn to let things go and change the access that we give to people. And that's the piece that a lot of people forget. They forgive people, which you are supposed to forgive, but they still give people the same access. And it don't work like that. You don't give people the same access to you after they have shown you who they are. Because we said we're going to believe them when they do it the first time, right? Not the 12th time, but the first time. And that will save us so much heartache and so much pain from there. All right. So once you understand that your mind has a what? A wall, right? Then it's important for you to understand that you have to affirm yourself. You have to put yourself in environments that speak to you, that push you to be the best version of yourself. So some examples of that is listening to positive music, affirmations, doing things that are just important to you, that inspire you, putting yourself in a new environment that's going to make you want to thrive for your business, do what you need to do so you can get going, making sure your friends, they uplift you, they push you. Okay, they don't have to understand or be somebody, a customer in your business, because we've all been there, right? Thinking you started your business, now your family friends gonna sign up, and they're like, "What? Why you want to do that thing? Just go back into the classroom." I'm like, "Dad, I am not going back with them kids. I'm done with that." Like, I'm like, "That worked for you. That is not for me." I did it. I did my fair share. But yeah, so that's why it's important that we understand the role that people play in our lives. And, just because they don't support your business, that doesn't mean you just cut them off. Like, I ain't talking to you no more. All of that. But where family is. It's the mindset. Everything starts in the mindset. So then once you do that, you have to dig deep. You have to be real with yourself, own your identity. Because the reality of it is when you own your identity, that means you look at your past, you own everything. So we all have skeletons, right? We all have things in our past that we wouldn't necessarily want everybody to know. But when you own it, if somebody throws that dirt in your face, it don't bother you. It doesn't bother you. And the reason it doesn't bother you is because you own it. Yes, that was my past, but I am not that person today. And if you notice in your life when you're trying to move up and excel and do things, people will always hold you to another version of yourself. But you're like, I'm not that person. And that's why it's important to understand that, yes, this happened to you, but that's not your identity. It's not. And so when we understand we have to separate ourselves from what actually happened to us, then you can thrive and you can be yourself. And that's what's important. So then we're going to talk about how to tap in. Y'all got to do that with me. Say, tap in. Tap into the 5 A's, okay? Now this, I'm going to give you the 5 A's, and you're going to got to be real with yourself, okay? So 5 A's. Your first A is acceptance. And I want you to think about your childhood as you're writing this down, okay? So acceptance. Were you accepted in your childhood? We know we don't get to choose our families that we're in, but were you accepted into that family unit? Or did you feel like you were the black sheep? I talked to a lot of clients. They were like, I was always the black sheep. I couldn't do nothing right. But then you realize it wasn't even about you. It could be about something else that happened before you even came into that family. But you're the one that's having to wear that weight of everything. All right? So your first one was acceptance. Your second one is affection. Did you receive love? And are you able to give love? That's important. Then our third one is allowed. Were you allowed to be you? Were you allowed to be yourself? Or was someone always telling you, don't walk like that, don't talk like that? Why are you chewing your food like that? It's like, oh, okay, how do you chew? I don't know. You figure it out. Okay. So our first one was what? Acceptance. Our second one, affection. And our third one, allowed. Okay. Then our fourth one is appreciation. Were you appreciated growing up? Just for being a part of the family, doing the things that you do. Were you appreciated? Then our fifth one is attention. Put a star by that one. Because you find out so many people are doing things the way they are today because they weren't shown attention growing up from those who mattered the most to them. So it could be a parent or just anybody, a guardian, anybody who was too busy maybe working. I've heard so many people tell me that my mama and daddy, they was busy running after the other person, too busy running after that man or that woman, and didn't give them the attention that they needed growing up. Because when you don't have these 5 A's for your solid foundation, when you become an adult, you're always searching and looking for that. And then you find yourself with somebody looking for them to fill your holes, and they can't fill your holes because they have holes themselves. What I want y'all to do is I want y'all to close your eyes for a minute. And I want you guys to think about these 5 A's we just talked about. And I want you to think about where you received them and where you did not receive them. Now we know we can't go back and change your childhood because what happened has happened. But you owe it to yourself moving forward. So now while your eyes are closed, I want you to envision your life having received these 5 A's. I want you to envision yourself being the best version of yourself today. What are you doing? How do you show up every day? How are you overcoming obstacles? Because the obstacles are there. If you look for solutions in your life, you're going to find them. But if you look for problems and excuses in your life, you're going to find that as well. So as you open your eyes, I want to leave you with this quote by Michelle Obama. She says that you have the power to choose. But I also love this one by Jim Miller, who says that everyone is born an original version of themselves. So why would you die a copy? Why? I love that. I love that. And so we are all born our original selves. But then, when you look on social media, you're like, everybody look the same. Everybody's doing this. And so I challenge you today to be your true, authentic self and to know that you can overcome anything you put your mind to, but it starts with you. You have to want to do that because the power is within you and you have the power to choose yourself. So what I want you guys to do is to make sure you go to yourtransformationalhealing.com. Again, that's yourtransformationalhealing.com. And I want you to take my quiz to determine what is your wealth and wellness score. So you can see the areas in your life where you need to start doing the work. Because don't be the same person you were last year. Because the reality of it is so many times people, they go to work, they come home, they take care of the kids, and then they repeat, do it again. And they wonder, why am I in the same place I was 10, 20 years ago? It's because you didn't take the time to do something different. Again, I am Brittany Bossop, and I help divorced women to increase and thrive in their wealth and wellness for transformational healing.
All right, that was awesome. And who's next? Who I got next? Who? You next? Okay, good. Wasn't that good? Okay, so this is what we're going to be also doing as well. Can you see okay? Okay, I was going to say, because we got 2 seats right here. If anybody wants to sit, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. We're going to be passing up questions. And so I know that everybody is here because you have some specific questions on different topics. So I'm glad to see that everybody's taking notes. So one of the things I would like for you guys to think of is what's one question that you would like to ask, whether it is of me, whether it's of Bruce, whether it's of Lena. I'm not sure, Brittany, because she might have to go early, but we'll see. We'll keep our fingers crossed if she might be able to be on the panel for a little while. So write your question down. The other thing is for everybody registered, right? Okay, because if you didn't register to be here, then you need to register first because you got to be on the list, right? And so everybody's just going to write their name on this because y'all see we got some nice goodies, right? And so as long as you, thank you. As long as you just put your name on it, please don't fold it up, none of that. So just write your name. That's how we use it as a raffle. We just keep it real simple and, easy peasy. All right. For everybody that's watching online, by the way, let me shout out, y'all. We got people that are watching online. So I want to shout some of them out as well. Hey, Noreen, Crystal, Daria, Juanita. That is on one platform. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I didn't even go to Instagram yet to see if anybody's on there. What is here? Hello, Wanda, Asia, Alfred, Jasmine, Miss Tax Hainsworth, the Authors Authority Lounge, Before the Billions. Hello. Let me see on Instagram. It's probably too late because I haven't been on there. So shout out to everybody who's watching us on the live stream. Okay. Now we're going to be doing giveaways too. So we have some virtual giveaways, but of course, like the TV and the tablet and the stuff that's physically here, you have to be here to win. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready for our next speaker. So remember, write down your question, just one question that you're going to pass up when we get ready for the panel. Is that good? Yes. Okay. All right. So we're going to bring up our next speaker. And I know we have a publisher here. Do we have any other publishers here? Any book publishers? Okay. Book publishing is definitely becoming an incredible place to be. I promise you, I know personally. And so very grateful. If it wasn't for getting into the book publishing world, I wouldn't have met so many amazing people. I love being in that space of books. But now I focus on when the book is done, what to do next, right? But this young lady is going to focus on writing the right book, right? And getting you profitable pages, right? So she has an incredible journey, y'all. She's going to tell you a little bit about her story. And she is one of our publishers that we definitely love to send people to. I'm all about collaborating because in collaboration, that is how you're able to build these massive businesses. You've never met any company that has ever gotten to the Fortune 100, 200. I don't know if it's a 2, 3, or 4, but I know Fortune 100 and 500 saying I did it by myself and I did not work with people who are in the same space. You have to learn to effectively do that. And I'm so grateful that she is one young lady that we do it with. So she's going to tell her story, so I don't have to tell it. Y'all, let's give it up for Dr. Lena Payton Webb.
Y'all give it up for Taria Vision Avant. No, wait. I said, give it up for Taria. Don't give it up for Dr. Lena. Give it up for Taria. She deserved more than that, right? So again, my name is Dr. Lena Payton Webb, and today I have a couple questions for y'all. Do we have any coaches, consultants, business owners, or even authors in the space? What we got? Who all here today? Okay, all right, good. We're in the right space. Now, out of all of you that are here who raise your hands, how many of you would love to create an additional stream of income? Okay, that looks like everybody to me. Everybody, right? Okay, so before we jump into that, I want to share just a few things about myself with you. Is that okay? Okay. All right, so I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. Anybody been to Detroit or from Detroit? All right. I now live in Daphne, Alabama. I'm a certified graphic designer by trade of over 30 years. A digital, right? Somebody know what Daphne is, right? I'm a digital artist, right? I'm a therapeutic art coach, and I'm an Army veteran of 21 years, 11 months, and 7 days. Do we have? Thank you. Do we have any other veterans in the space today? Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. But let me tell you how I got to be in that space. So back when I was working as a graphic designer, I was about 20 years of age, and it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't. See, right? You feel it, right? It wasn't that long ago. So I was working as a graphic designer. I was about 20, and I felt like I wasn't making a lot of money. Do anybody know any 20-year-olds that feel like they should be making a lot of money? Right. So that was me. So I went back to college. I'm gonna go to college so I can make some more money. Right. So I go back to college. I'm in college. About my second semester in, the college asked me to leave. They asked me to leave. They asked me to leave. They asked me to leave because I couldn't pay. I couldn't pay. Has that ever happened? Well, y'all don't have to tell. Do y'all know somebody that happened to? Right? I can be transparent. It happened to me. So they asked me to leave, and so I'm a preacher's kid. Any other preacher kids in the room? Well, let me tell y'all, that is a special life. So at my house, when I would go home on the weekends from college at 20 years of age, they would ask me to be home by like 9 o'clock at 20. So I knew I did not want to go back to that lifestyle. So I went over here to the Army recruiter and on Monday, and by Wednesday, I was over here at Fort Jackson, Carolina, being all that I could be. So that started my Army career, right? So I'm in the Army. I'm living my best life. I'm traveling around the world. I'm doing my thing. I'm breaking barriers until one day, I get the devastating news that I have cancer. Yeah, that was my first thought too. AML leukemia to be exact. Guys, when I tell you I got that news, I was so depressed, so distraught. I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't know what to process, how to process it. I didn't know what life was going to look like for me. I didn't know if I was going to be able to continue to be all that I can be. I just didn't know. So I would gear up in my mind to do the thing that I knew how to do. I had been trained to do for the previous 19 years at that point, and that was to fight. So in my mind, I'm going to gear up and fight cancer. So I'm fighting cancer, and to me, I'm winning the war. Me and cancer fighting. We fighting, and I'm winning the war, at least in my mind. And then one day I wake up and I cannot see. One day I wake up and the chemo treatment has taken my eyesight. Imagine that moment as a digital person or a creative being not being able to see. Just imagine as a person who's not creative, not being able to see. I'm already fighting cancer. Now I've lost my eyesight. So during this time, I become even more depressed, if that was even possible. I didn't know what life was going to look like even further. I didn't know who was going to take care of me, who was going to take care of my kids. I became so distraught. In that moment, it took about 3-4 months for them to get my eyes together where they could get what I could see. Anybody ever heard of a mustard seed? A mustard seed? That was all I could see. After months of testing, months of prodding, months of just experimenting on my little eyes, they flew in a doctor from India, and this little doctor got it to where I could see a mustard seed of light. So I would use this mustard seed of light every day to train my eyes, to refocus my eyes. And then there was a particular day that I had a hospital volunteer. You can come right here. There was hey, Dr. Kamika. There was a particular day that a hospital volunteer walked into my room. And she said, would you like some water? Would you like a book? Would you like a coloring book? So me being the creative person I am, what you think I went with? Yes, even though I couldn't see it. I said, give me the coloring book, right? So I would use that moment, and that became the moment that became so pivotal in my life. So we're going to come back to that. And I want to talk to you about 3 ways you as an author, a coach, or an entrepreneur can create additional streams of income with profitable pages, right? Using custom coloring books, workbooks, self-help books, right? All right. So y'all say with me, create the thing. So create the thing is the first thing you want to do. Y'all probably like, well, Dr. Lena, what do you mean by create the thing? You want to create the thing that is going to deliver results for your clients and those that you serve. Well, what does that look like? Well, for me, I was the person who needed the thing. That thing for me was that coloring book. Now, let me tell you about my thing. My thing had Barney. It had Big Bird. It had ABC. It had 1, 2, 3s. It didn't look like me. It didn't resonate with me. It did not have anything. It should have been a book I shouldn't even had. My grandson, he's 1. He should have that book, right? So in that moment, I would use that thing. So, but the thing that you want to create is something that your clients can resonate with, that looks like them, that speaks to them, that communicates with them, that gives them an experience. So you want to create the thing. So from that moment, I learned, well, you know what? I can take this. I used it to refocus my eyes, but it also helped me in the mental aspect. Anybody ever heard how therapeutic coloring works? Yes, it saves lives, I'm telling you. And then later on, once I was able to see, after a period of time, I would start journaling. So I used the 2 together to help me overcome the mental and the physical trauma that I was experiencing. And in that moment, I was like, well, why am I feeling so connected to these 2 tools? So I would go back to school, take a class and become the therapeutic art coach. And then in that process, I learned some things about colors and how they resonate with you and how they are connected to you. So I'm going to share just a little bit about with you guys today. Is that okay? So I'm going to give you 4 color choices, and I want you to just pick a color that you feel that resonate with. It doesn't have to be your favorite, but pick a color that you think resonates with you, okay? So your color choices are red, yellow, green, or blue. Y'all see it? Red. All right, so everybody y'all got y'all colors? We ready? All right, so if you pick the color red, go ahead, stand up for me. Let me see who's red. Okay, all right. Y'all see who y'all neighbors is. Don't switch up now. Don't switch up. Okay, we got the reds. All right, now my yellows. What my yellow friends? Okay, we got some yellow friends over here. Okay. All right, now my green friends. What my green friends? Okay, all right, we got some green friends. I'm sure we got some more online too. And then my blue. What my blue friends? Oh, they're blue in deep. They're blue deep. All right. I love it. All right. Y'all have a seat. Now, if you resonated with the color red, go ahead, raise your hand. I think we got more hands up than we had bodies standing. Okay. So for my red friends, our red friends are described as those who are very passionate about what they do. They are the go-getters, right? They are competitive to the heart, right? If they want something done, they're going to do it. Now, the distinctive thing about our red friends is this. They don't care what you think. They don't care what you think. They're going to do it anyway, right? Right? All right. Now, where are my yellow friends? My yellow friends? Okay. All right. Now, our yellow friends, I like to think of them as the happy, happy, joy, joy. So they are energetic, they're friendly, they're creative, right? But the distinctive thing about some yellow friends, because don't get mad at me, if it hurt your toe, but the distinctive thing about the yellow friends is if you want them there by noon, you usually tell them to be there by 10. That's just some of them. That's some of the yellow friends. That's some of them. That's some of them. Now, where are my green friends? All right, my green friends. Okay, so our green friends are this. They like to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. They like balance. Engineers, yeah. Our green friend. Now, the distinctive thing about our green friends is this. They're the friend that if you ever been at some place with a friend or a co-worker and they sitting there and it's time for the thing to start and they looking at their watch like, she said be here at 2:00. It's 2:03. Them the green friends. They like this thing, they late. Those are our green friends. Now, where are my blue friends? All the blue. So my blue friends are those who work from the heart. They like to know what they're doing. If they like to know what they're doing and why they're doing it. And if they can't relate to why they're doing it, it's going to be hard or a challenge for them to work with you. So the same thing that drives them is the same thing that makes them distinctive. Because they know that it has a purpose to what they're doing and they work from the heart. That's the same thing that makes them distinctive. Meaning, Lena, let's go to dinner. Well, I can't do that because I'm working on Brittany's thing because it means something to her. Because it means something to her and I'm working with her. I can't get up and go to dinner until I finish that thing. Right? Makes sense? So y'all probably like, well, why are you telling us about these colors and all about Brittany business? Well, imagine this. Imagine if you had a tool that you're able to give to your clients where you can communicate with them, right, without having to communicate with them. You can give them something that reaches them, that talks to them, that educates them, and you don't even have to. It does the heavy lifting, right? Let's talk about two populations I know for sure firsthand that this works for. Who works with children? Children. Children are probably one of the populations that is most challenges to work with. Would you agree? They're each different. They speak their own language as far as I'm concerned, like, right? Just imagine being able to give them a tool like a custom coloring book that would be able to do that for you, right? But by giving them that tool, you're able to tell how they're feeling, what they're going through, and then also give them something to use when you're not around, right? Now let's talk about the other population that's near and dear to my heart, veterans. We tough on the outside, but to get to the inside, that's a challenge, right? So imagine being able to work with veterans. Well, I'm able to work with them in a different way using custom coloring books because they can do it does the work for me. It allows me to break that initial barrier, then I can then go deeper, right? Make sense? All right. So y'all say create the thing. We're going to create the thing, right? All right. So the next thing is your custom journals. If you had to create something today in form of a custom journal, what would that be for you? What would that topic be? Anybody want to share?
I'll probably create something around growth,
Growth?
some nature.
Nature?
Peaceful.
Peaceful. Okay. Positive affirmation. And I know why. Yes, ma'am. Lessen the load. Okay. And lessen the load meaning? Lessen the load. That's good. That's good. So when we talk about a custom journal, you want to first figure out what the end result of that thing should be. What is it supposed to do? Who is it supposed to help? How many people see like, well, it's just a journal out there and it's just there. Like you don't know what the intent of it is because there's so many of them out there, right? But if you know who it's supposed to serve, what it's supposed to do, the end result of it, then you can then create the thing that is going to serve the people that it's called to serve. Make sense? All right. The third thing, your self-help book. At this moment, what I want you to do is I want you to think about that one thing you experienced in life, and it could have been this morning on your way here. And you probably said, I don't want anybody in life to ever have to go through that. What is that thing? What is that thing you overcame? You don't want nobody else to have to go through it. You know how many people waiting on that answer? Ooh, that is a good one. Somebody else waiting on that answer. Somebody Googling that, and they're Googling that too. So the point is, whatever your theme is, somebody is waiting on your answer. You have the answer. You've been tested with it. You've been tried with it. Now it's your turn to help somebody else. Oftentimes we go through stuff and we want to keep it. I'm not going to tell nobody. I did it. I did it for a long, like 10 years. Even though I said not that long ago, don't y'all do no math. Don't do no math allowed at this moment. Listen, but I did it for 10 years. 10 years, I did not walk in my gift. 10 years, I set it to the side. Why? Because I was depressed. Why? Because I didn't know what I was supposed to do with my life. Why? Because I did not realize that there was life on the other side. But once I did, baby, you can't shut me up, right? And I'm the person, normally before this, I'm the one, I'm in the back. I'm doing the work in the back because I connect with you here, because I'm blue, right? So I'm always doing for others, right? But now that I realize my gifts, my talents, my calling, it is I'm supposed to be doing on this side of heaven in this space today, my mission requires more, just like yours. So that thing you went through, somebody needs to hear from you. Somebody needs to hear the strategies, the steps, the things that you went through. It may not work for them, but they need to know that there's glory on the other side, for one. But it may work for them. They may have to do it different, but they need to know they're not the only one. How many of us have ever went through something? Be like, man, I'm the only person that this went through? This happened to? So that thing that happened to you, what if you could take that and help somebody else? Who you gonna help today? Y'all say that. Who am I gonna help today? Somebody is waiting on you. All right. So your self-help book, when you gonna get started? When do you want to get started? Good answer. I love that answer. So that's where we come in. So at Blue Impressions Publishing, what we do, we specialize in doing just that. We specialize in making the thing that is going to resonate with your clients, those that you are called to serve. So we make the thing that allows you to keep doing the area of expertise that you work in. We work with other publishers. Facts, right? We work with other publishers. We work with all kinds of professionals. Matter of fact, I have clients in the room today. Let me see. I ain't gonna ask all y'all to say. Judge Terry, she judge y'all. Come on, Judge Terry. She ain't not gonna call her up here. Okay, so we're gonna make this real quick. Come on. Okay, tell them who you are and what you do.
I am Terry Thompson. Is this on? Oh, okay. I'm a judge in DeKalb County.
Okay, tell them what you do.
Oh,
Outside the judge.
oh, outside of that, yes. I'm also a publisher and an author.
And then what do you do in your with the kids? Tell them that.
Oh, look how she doing. I help youth and at-risk youth avoid the criminal justice system.
Y'all give it up for Judge Terry. Now, Judge Terry, tell tell them that when you came to us, all the stuff that you wanted for your class.
Yes. So I created a book. I have a children's book series. And the reason I did the children's book series is because I encounter youth, either as clients or people that come into the courtroom when I'm sitting as a judge, youth and adults. And a lot of times I just want to shake them like, if you only knew who you were. If you only knew who you were. So that's what birthed the children's book series for me. And so I'm the owner of Zella Publishing. And like I said, I create children's books for that purpose. Now, let me tell you about Lena, Dr. Lena Payton Webb. So I told you who I am. I told you what I've done. But it wasn't until I met Dr. Webb that I learned that my business could go even further. So in my mind, I just have the children's book series, right? She has created an entirely different stream of income for my business. I now not only have the book Kinky Curly Mind for little girls, little Black girls who are struggling with self-esteem. I now have a coloring book. I now have a journal. And in the journal, and I wish I could have brought one with me, when she sent me the draft, I'm talking about the draft. It was so beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes because on each page for my little girls that will purchase this book and the coloring book, the affirmations in the journal, every time they turn the page, it's a different affirmation. And I'm not talking about a little skimpy 10 page, oh, this will make you feel better. No, each affirmation is for that little girl to believe, to read and believe that for themselves. Because if you don't believe it for yourself, everybody in here knows when you go out in the world, no one else is going to believe it for you. You have to believe it for yourself. So I am eternally grateful because she has expanded my business.
Thank you. So y'all give it up for Judge Terry. Thank you for being so willing to come up here on the spot. So we did those two, and then we did a third one for her college youth that she works with as well. So when I said, yes, y'all see? So her as a publisher and having a book, having the other things to go with it. I know a lot of us, because I see a lot of familiar faces in here, right? A lot of us have a book, right? But you need something that may go with that to help amplify your reach, right? Amplify your reach, your impact, and your income. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's levels to it, right? It's levels to it. So as you look to expand your business, your brand, and those that you serve, consider those additional streams of income, right? So I'm going to end with this. No QR code. So you're going to go to Pages to Profits, Pages, PAGESTO, profits with an S.com. You're going to go there. You're going to get a free ebook that's going to give you even more dynamic resources, tips, tools on how to do just that, create pages that are profitable for you. Now, this ebook is dynamic, y'all. You think I stood up here and told y'all some stuff? It has more stuff in it than that. And if you do it today, you're going to go over there and see Brittany and show her that you did it, and she's going to give you a free gift. We like free gifts at BPC. If y'all see that, y'all see all that stuff. So we like free stuff, right? So you're going to go to pagestogrofits.com. Once you go there, you're going to fill out the thing there. You're going to get your ebook. Then you're going to go see Brittany. Y'all say, hey, Brittany. Y'all going to y'all going to see Brittany. She's going to give you your free gift. All right. So I hope you found something valuable in what I've said today. I look forward to connecting with each one of you if need be. And my last thing is this. Through art and words, not do we just heal ourselves, but we find ourselves. So guys, you guys have been amazing. My name is Dr. Lena Payton Webb, and I empower authors, coaches, and consultants to create additional streams of income using custom coloring books, workbooks, and self-help books.
Let's give it up again. And again, I always want to make sure I shout out our online folks. We have Daria again says, yes, she says BPC likes free stuff. Yes, we do. Doris Cole says, I want to enlarge my territory. Love it in all caps. Wave Philosophy says, oh, well, hold on. She says, here from Facebook, because I'm sending everybody that's watching on Facebook. If you want to see your chat on the screen, come join us in the YouTube. And so that is Tammy Renee. She's just letting us know that that's Tammy Renee. Noreen says, yes, that's good if you only know who you were. Amplify. Oh, that's Tammy Renee. Let me see. Wanda says, yes, affirmations are what I do to help me and others. Alfred says, me. Must have been a question that says, who is a superstar? He said, me. That's what he said. Well, listen, guys, again, so have y'all been thinking about your one question that you're going to write down? No? It got real quiet. Okay. Think about that question. You're going to get one, and we ain't got all day, so you don't want to miss it. So, real quick, y'all, Anthony Potter. Okay. Hi, Anthony. How you doing? Great. So Anthony, and I know who Dr. Kamika is, are our VIPs. They got their VIP ticket. Let me fix this bag real quick. And so with our VIP, matter of fact, I'll just show y'all what you get. Dr. Kamika, can I open up your bag so I can show everybody? Here's yours. Okay. And so there you go. Okay. And so, and then also, where are the white papers? Do we have some more left? Okay. Can you make sure that Anthony and Dr. Kamika have them to fill out 5? Because VIP upgrades get, bonuses. Okay, so they're getting this nice customized Book Profits Club and Author All-Stars journal, as well as a pen and this mug that can keep your stuff hot or cold. They're also going to be getting our Profits Planner. Guys, those that fail to plan to fail. And so this is a 90-day planner. The reason why we do 90 days is because on average, most folks tend to stay on something for less than 30 days on average. But we believe that if you can do something consistently for 90 days, I'll let you do this. I can fit it in. For 90 days, you will create a new habit. Okay. And so we do these every quarter. Also, how many of y'all ever bought a planner before? Anybody? Journal? And like, if you miss a month, what you end up doing? You're not going to you're going to get a new one. You're like, nah, I need to get a fresh one. I'm starting new. So we ain't trying to do you like that. We said, let's give you every 90 days. So that's for our VIPs. Pretty cool. Okay. Now, one of the things, I'm not going to be doing a power talk, but as you guys know, I'm in the space of showing authors how to leverage their books, right? I've been in this space now since 2015 as a coach. It's ironically, just to tell you a little bit of my story, I was in the network marketing industry. And what happened was, if anybody ever been in multi-level marketing or network marketing? Okay. So is there anybody who doesn't know what that is? You don't know what network marketing is? Okay. So it's like Mary Kay, where you recruit people to, right? So they tell you up front, like, all you got to do is sell the product. Then it'd be like, how many new people you enroll, right? And you're like, golly, I thought I was just here to sell products, right? But I learned how to build organizations. I learned how to market. I also learned what gets people to take action, right? You really learn that when you start building a network marketing industry. However, what I didn't know, like every industry has like its own like circle, right? And so in the network marketing industry, it's also very it's big, but it's small. And so when you start talking to people outside of it, a lot of people didn't really want to join multi-level marketing. I didn't know this, right? I was like, man, we making money. Who would not want to sell coffee? And that's when I realized that's what I was selling. It's like, what? It just makes sense. And so long story short, I realized there's a large population of people that no matter how much money you make in network marketing, they don't care. They like you doing a scam, right? That's what they think. And so I had to figure out a way so that people could see me as an actual leader or a professional or someone who has value to bring outside of, I got this coffee to sell. And that's when I decided to write a book. And so in the process of becoming an author, man, doors opened up. Everybody say open. Doors opened up, y'all. When I tell you, I got invited to speak in so many different groups. Huh? It did? Oh, let me see. Hold on one second, y'all.
Hold, please.
Hold, please. Oh, no. Oh, you know why? Because I didn't. charge. I didn't plug this in. Hold on, what's say online? Y'all can hear me though, right? As long as it did it while I was talking, that's okay. Okay, so here, can you help me out on this side? I'm gonna plug this one on that side. So I'm gonna keep on talking. No, right here. It's plug right here. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to put the power on. Okay, so. Okay. All right, 1 second, y'all. It's gotta juice up a little bit.
That's Daria told you.
Thank you, Daria. We appreciate you. Okay, so hopefully we should be Gucci in a second. There it is. Okay, so the door started opening up. So I wrote a book, and I don't have that one here, but I wrote a book, and in the book I talked about things like goal setting. I talked about things like mentorship, getting a mentor. I talked about vision boards. Anybody ever done a vision board before? Vision boards, right? And do y'all know a bridal organization hired me? Before, nobody would ever hire me to come and teach and speak, even though I was a top earner in the industry. But now I got these bridal organizations like, hey, can you come and speak about vision boards? Why? Because I wrote about it. So immediately I became an expert on vision boards because I did what? I wrote about it. And so I was like, oh, okay. I never imagined, because I wrote the book to use it to recruit. That's why I wrote it. And so now I got real estate agent. I had a real estate organization say, hey, can you come in to teach on goal setting for our realtors? Oh, okay. I'm a goal setting expert now. Okay. I was just like, I'm an expert in everything, right? Okay. And so doors opened up for me. And it was like, wow, it was like an aha moment, because the funny thing is I never wanted to write a book necessarily to tell my story. And for anybody who has, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's amazing, but I just know I'm still living. So my story is not done. And so I never was interested yet. Right. And that might also go back to also how sometimes, even as people, we sometimes dim our light. Like, I don't really like to talk about myself. I really don't. And so that has a lot to do with it too. Like, well, I'll tell my story on, but I feel like I'm gonna wait till somebody writes it for me when, it's all said and done. Right. But I wanted to create a tool that would make me an expert. And so now I have used my books to get me into events for free. Like, not a speaker, just an event. Like, I don't really want to pay that $1,000 to me. Send them a copy of my book, let them know who I be, and maybe I can come somehow do a little registration, like volunteering, and still be able to go for free. Does that make sense? Or, for example, the CEO of this establishment, I sent him my book. Well, actually, I didn't send him the book. I sent him the magazine, the Author All Stars magazine, and our author brand cards that we make with our clients. And so I sent him that, y'all, within an hour. The CEO of Russell Center emailed me like, whoa. And so I quickly understood that a book, when done right, can be your best marketing tool. Also, because I know we have fiction story authors here, a book also should streamline into additional items. Is Harry Potter just a book? It's a movement. Y'all remember back in the day when we would get on the planes and they used to have the books on the plane, you could buy stuff. I don't think they do that no more. I don't know. The Sky Lounge or something like that. Yeah. Sky Mall. And everybody used to look at it, right? I know I did. Y'all remember they used to have a whole section for Harry Potter? Y'all don't remember that? They had a whole section selling wands and cloaks and, yes. Google this when y'all get home. You ain't got to do it now. They literally have Harry Potter groups. They be getting around doing magic with each other. I snorted in the thing. Y'all heard me snort. Okay. No, they do. They be doing magic stuff, Do you know they had a Harry Potter museum? Yeah. And then the movies. Oh, let's not talk about the movies. Because, baby, they're spending some coin to come dressed as their favorite character in Harry Potter. And so even those of us that are on the fiction side of authorpreneurship, you have to think beyond the book, because everybody say this with me: book money is no money. Like if you write a book just to sell it, baby, you got to sell a lot of books. And if you're using a third-party website, like y'all know the big, we ain't even gonna talk about how much money you're not making, right? How much money they're taking and then retargeting your leads. So anybody ever bought something from Amazon today? Listen, I'll set up books on Amazon, and I would prefer to buy a book from an author directly from them just because that's the space that I'm in. But that don't mean I don't buy everything else. I buy everything on Amazon, right? Well, do you know that when you buy something on Amazon, they will then email you and say, based on your previous purchase, we recommend you buy this. They do that for books too. So do you know that when you then send someone to buy your book on that site, guess what they're going to start doing? Recommending to them, to your purchaser, more stuff. Now, do you get a chance to recommend? Do they even give you the contact information? Right? Just because everybody is doing it, does it make it right? If everybody else jumping off the bridge, you jumping off with them? See, and so because everybody does this, it's like we think that's supposed to be the way to do it. But if you are writing this book to build and establish your name and your business, you should be selling it yourself. Yes, yes? And then you need to think beyond the book. Can I create products? I had a young lady who wrote a fictional story. And in her fictional story, it was about rings, like this ring. A family heirloom ring, a purple stone. I don't know the name of the stone. It's beautiful. It's supposed to be a big, beautiful stone, right? And so that she could be able to create multiple streams with it, guess what she started to sell? Jewelry. Yeah, but high-end costume. There's two types of costume jewelry. You got the low end, and then you got some high end. I ain't know that till one day I was at this event, and this lady had she called it high-end costume jewelry, so it's not real. So I was like, okay, well, how much? I just want y'all to listen. It's not real. I was like, okay, so how much is it? She was like, oh, this piece right here is piece $1,500. All right. I'm about to make $1,500. I can go to Dubai for that and get some fake Rolexes for $100. I'm telling you, I'm just letting you know. Okay, so anyway. Her stuff was beautiful. It was amazing. And it was one of a kind pieces. And so it was definitely worth it. I'm joking. But there are different levels of costume jewelry. And so now she's able to provide high quality costume jewelry that she would sell on her table. Because that's another thing. When you have a book and you just try to sell your book on a stage, don't nobody want to come to a table of an author. Think about it. First of all, don't nobody want to come to tables, period, especially if you're an introvert. Me? Oh, don't get me in a little swap meet. I'd be like, I'm not looking left or right. I don't want nobody look at me. They got their table. Because, as soon as you look at them, like, hi, you be like, oh, Lord, I got to come over here and talk now, right? And so that's just my personality is very introverted when I'm in extroverted environments. What's the first thing y'all see me do? I'm on a computer because it's my comfort zone, right? So as an author, because we know that now, and depending upon what your book, how you have your book titled and stuff, you got to make people think about what the book is about. They don't know what the book is. And so they got to come and pick it up and look to see what it is. So you have to create ways that makes your table so that people will want to come because of what else is on it, right? So that's why you can create other products to go alongside with it. Does that make sense? Because I'm telling you, I see authors a lot of times, and many of you guys, if you've ever done it, you might know. I've seen authors where they're just standing there at the table by themselves because people don't really want to come up to look at the book. Now, once you get them there, if it's titled right, they're going to buy it. But the key is getting them to the table, right? Okay, so we're going to talk more about that and how to turn your book into multiple streams, how to use it to speak more, how to use it to even maybe launch a product. Some of us think linear that in a self-help space that a book is only for someone that wants to speak or coach. Nope. You could have a product line that you want to use to launch. You might want to launch a service. Does anybody here do a service like, massages, or maybe you do taxes, or you do stuff like that? There are ways you can use books to even grow that. Okay. So now we're going to bring up our next speaker, and then we're going to get into the panel conversation. Okay. So be thinking about your question. And also on those white papers, make sure that write your name on them each time. You did that already? Okay, cool. Perfect. Because you're going to pass them in. We're going to do our, no, yeah, because did you do VIP? Oh, okay. So if you did VIP, we're giving it a little extra more. But yes, 1 time for the free, and then 5 times for the VIP. All right. Okay. No, just your name. Write your question on your own paper if you have a piece of paper that you can pass on up. And if you need one, I got a couple of white papers. Anybody need some? No? You need one? Can you get this? If anybody needs some paper for questions. And then online, y'all need to be registered as well. If you're watching online, you need to go to the popupworkshop.com. Everybody that's online is also going to get a free gift. For everybody who is here as well, being that you're registered in here, you'll be getting a free gift. We'll talk about that, okay? All right. Next speaker. Everybody ready? All right. Well, this gentleman is doing some incredible things in a space that majority of people don't necessarily love. But the crazy thing is that in order for you to have a business, somebody gonna have to do it. And it's called SALES. What does that spell? Whoo! Child, please. Do y'all know that people are not just gonna buy your stuff because you say they're not? You literally, especially if you're selling high ticket products and services. And I'm talking about today, a high ticket product could be $100, to be honest, because we are in a space where people are informationed out. So people tired of paying for a whole lot of coaching and information. I'm being honest. There's ways you could tweak it though and still be in the coaching industry. People have invested in everything under the sun. And so even something that's a $97 investment, while some of us might say, oh, it's not big investment. No, for some people, no, I need to talk to somebody. I need to hear somebody. I need to be convinced. And so we are out here running these businesses. And I see some of us will do all the social media stuff. We do all the go on the network stuff. We got all the articles and stuff. But the one thing that we're not doing is we're not selling. And selling requires you to literally say, this is how much it costs, how you want to get started. But he does it in a better way. The reason why I think a lot of times, especially if you're a creative, you don't want to sell is because you don't want to feel salesy. You want to feel like the car salesperson, right? And I'm the same way. I'm not a hard closer. I'm not an aggressive seller. And I'm not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. Like literally by the time you get to him, he's going to have you in a space where you're going to say, you know what? Just give me the card. And so he teaches you how to sell without being salesy. He is also an author. He is a speaker, and he is a world changer. Y'all, let's give it up for Bruce Hill.
First of all, I want to thank you for your presence and participation on this Sunday, on this beautiful day. Listen, y'all, any day it's not snowing, it's a beautiful day for me, okay? I ask myself for every talk, what can I tell you today that you can use today that'll make you some money today and change the world forever? So each and every time I talk, I want to make sure it's not something that just inspires you, that just motivates you, but something that teaches you and that you can apply. So I have a very, very simple goal, and I'm gonna need your help to reach it. If I can help you hear yes more often without sounding salesy, would that be a good use of our next 15, 20 minutes? Somebody say yes. If I can help you hear yes more often while being your authentic self, just a version of you that makes more money, would that be good use of our time? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. So I wrote a book. Shout out to Taria. Thanks, Taria. It's called 8 Steps to Sales Success. But you want to know what the alternate title of this book was? It was Sales Made Simple. And if I do a reprint, I might still call it that. I'm going to set this right here. We'll add this to the giveaways. Can I make sales really easy for you? Somebody say yes. Find people that want to tell you yes. I think that's the number one thing people get wrong with sales is they look for people that are ready to say no. And what people struggle with is sales. It puts us in front of the three things we are programmed, we are hardwired to avoid. The first is rejection. The second is uncertainty. And the third is judgment. What's that little song? These are a few of my favorite things. Like, people hate rejection, they hate being judged, and they hate uncertainty. And guess what sales puts us in front of every day? I don't know how they're going to respond. I don't know if my friends or family are going to think about me differently. I don't know if they're going to say yes. So the simple solution is, how do we find people that already want to tell us yes? Somebody say yes. So I have a very good friend of mine. I've known him for about 30 years now. And the poor guy has been bald since high school. Okay. Just look like one of the Jeffersons, right? Just bald. If I try to sell my best friend some shampoo, he probably would be a little annoyed at me. He might not have some nice things to tell me, even though it's really great shampoo. It might be all natural. It might be organic. Maybe it gives you a little tingling sensation when you apply it. But guess what he doesn't have? So how much convincing would it take for him to buy this shampoo? Let me tell you right now, we're not in the convincing business. We're not in the convincing business. So here's what I want to do. There's so many things I want to share with you. How can we turn more conversations into clients? How can we move them from interested to invoice? How do we turn problems into payments? And so what I did is part of, because I just love how Taria operates. She gives and gives and gives and then gives some more. And if you want to work with her, she'll make space for you. But she's never going to twist your arm to do it. So I try and follow from her example. So for the book, which I have physical copies with me, I want to sign each and every one of you of your books that you buy today. I've put digital courses that I don't have time to cover today as a freebie, as a bonus for you for investing in yourself. So if you want to learn how to turn more conversations into clients, you can grab the book. You're going to learn the 8 steps to sales success, and you have those bonuses. If you want to hear yes more often, that bonus is in there as well. If you say, hey, I need to stay organized, I'm going to teach you how to use something called a CRM. I just don't have time to do that all in 20 minutes. So I encourage you to invest in yourselves, and I'll give you the link. No worries. But right now, okay, what was the question I asked at the very beginning? What can I teach you today that's going to help you today? All right. So there's 5 ways to hear yes more often. They're so simple. For my note takers, you may want to write this down. Number 1 is to ask more people. No one can buy from you if they've never heard of you. That's number 1. More people need a chance to tell you yes. Okay. The second thing, and this is all very simple, you know all of these. That's the fun part about what I do. I want to make it so clear and so easy that you're like, well, I might as well go do it. And that's where you start to get results. That's why I'm so proud of the people I have the honor and privilege of teaching, because they get results, because they do what I teach. The information isn't useful until you use it. When does it become useful? Okay. So what's number 1? How do we hear yes more often? What's number 1? Okay, that's pretty simple. So far, so good. Number 2 is to ask the right people. This goes back to my bald friends and it's shampoo. It could be wonderful shampoo, but it don't matter. You don't have any hair. Okay. Some of you are trying to sell shampoo to people that don't have hair. You're wondering why this business isn't working. We got to find the right people. Okay. Then number 3, this is also very simple. I'm confident. You see why I'm thinking about changing the title of the book, Salesman? Does any of this seem complicated? It really isn't. And if it does, you let me know. We will break it down. Number 3 is ask more often. Now, this doesn't mean pestering people 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in one day. Please don't do that. You will get blocked. And don't go around telling people Bruce said. I did not. What I mean is a monthly newsletter. What I mean is a reminder. Sometimes people just are waiting for that paycheck to hit. Sometimes no, it's really just not yet. That's assuming we have the right person. Okay, let's make sure we're all on track. What's the first one? What's the 5 ways to hear yes more often? Number 1? Okay, good. And number 2? Beautiful. Number 3? Excellent. We're on track. So number 4 is also very simple. Is we're going to ask better questions. And my next book actually is titled Better Questions, Better Clients, because I realized if I could teach you to ask better questions, that will positively impact every single area of your life and business. And by impact, I mean money. So if we're asking better questions, the first thing we need to ask is ourselves, who can I serve with excellence? The answer to that question is the right people. If you ask yourself, who can I serve with excellence? The answer to that question is the right people. Those are the people that are waiting to tell you yes. Asking better questions will get you better clients. And number 5 is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is because the least people do this and it gets the most results. Ask for the referral. Number 5 is ask for the referral. Now, I gave them to you in an order, but I don't believe any one is more important than the other. I encourage you to do all of them. But if you don't do any of them, do this one. Referrals are the least expensive lead source, and they convert the highest of any lead source. So all of you today should go email your list, put a post on social media. If you're feeling real bold, pick up the phone and say, thank you so much for working with me. Thank you so much for buying my book. Thank you so much for attending my talk. I helped this people accomplish this result. Would you send it to them, to someone you know who wants that? Would you send this to someone you know wants this result? Here's how they get in touch with me. Here's the funny thing about this. Maybe 2 of you are going to do that. But what I love about this is that 2 is going to message me, and they do. I've got, where's my phone? I've got testimonials for days. They're like, Bruce, I got 2 new clients. I'm like, it's Tuesday. I'll just talk to you on Saturday. I love it. I love what I do because it impacts what you do and helps you make sales simple. Okay. Again, if we don't do anything else, what's the one step that I encourage each and every one of you to do today? What does that sound like? So I'll tell my buddy and say, hey, got the shampoo. Would you like some? He says, no, thank you. What should we do next? That is so simple, but I promise you that's not what people do. They try and tell you, hey, it's only 15 cents an ounce. They tell you it's a 16-ounce bottle. They tell you it's responsibly sourced, but he still doesn't have any hair. So what's a better question we could ask him? It's not a trick question. Anyone? Thanks, Modest. It's that simple. Who do you know that has hair and wants it to be? Then he's going to call me. He said, hey, Bruce, I got some shampoo for you. And guess what? I've known him for 30 years. You think I'm going to take his call? Think I'll check out the shampoo? Yes. There's someone that wants to tell you yes. Your job is to find them. Your job is not to convince them. You are not in the convincing business. That's how we make sales simple. How much time do I have left? Me neither. All right. So I'll tell you, when I started off in sales, I was pretty terrible. But I accidentally got good. And I'm going to tell you how I accidentally got good. And I'm going to tell you how I did it wrong. And I'm going to tell you how I did it on purpose. I started off and I went to interview because I was out of a job. This is where all great stories start. The business was sold. Nobody had a job. I had to put that in there because people started asking me like, well, what happened? What'd you do? We all got fired or laid off, whatever word. We weren't getting a paycheck. So I called my buddy up, the same one with no hair, actually. And I said, hey, I want to do something different. I know if I do something different, I'll get different results. How do I get paid for more results, right? If I do more, I want to get paid more. He said, well, you got to go to sales. Now this was a life-changing moment. People can only give you advice based on their life experiences. Okay? They can only give you advice based on their life experiences. And even if you ask them a question they don't have the answer to, they can only tell you, so, well, I know this guy talks about it. They can only tell you about something they've experienced in their life. So if he had been a realtor, I might be a real estate broker. If he had sold insurance, I might be an insurance agent, right? If he had sold drugs, I might be dead or in jail. Okay? So it's very simple. If you want their life, take their advice. If you don't want their life, do the opposite. Okay, that's a little extra bonus for y'all. Fortunately, he sold cars. So guess what he told me to do? Listen, I told you I'll make this all very simple. Okay. So I wanted to sell cars. I don't know anything about selling cars. So I go to interview. I got my suit and tie on. I'm waiting. This is back when folks used to dress up for interviews, right? And I walk in and there's no one there. And the 2 or 3 people that are running around busy, I was like, oh, they short staffed. I'm in. All right, I'm ready. So I'm standing there waiting. The manager comes up. He said, hey, I'm helping the customer. I'll be right with you. He runs off. Standing there waiting. Someone comes in the door. He looks around. He sees me. He says, you. He said, I need to buy a car. I said, well, I don't work here. He was like, don't worry about that. I already know which car it is. I was like, okay. So mind you, I've never sold cars, ever. Not a single car. Not even my car. I crashed it, couldn't sell it, right? So I have no idea what I'm doing. So what I did, I asked him, well, what kind of car it is? He's like, I'll show you. So we go out in the lot. He shows me the car. And I look at it. And I look at him. I look at the car. I don't know what to say. So I asked him a question. I said, well, why do you want this car? So he told me. I said, I said, those are some good reasons. I was like, well, what do you think of the price? He said, that's a good price. I said, I think so too. I looked at the car and looked at him. And he looked at me and he looked at the car. I said, well, what should we do next? He said, well, I guess I should fill out some paperwork. I was like, that's a good idea. Let's go find some paperwork. So we went back inside and the manager meets us. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I was just helping this gentleman buy a car. He said, what? He said, yeah, he wants to buy that car and he likes the price. How do we help him? He said, all right. He takes him out, fills out the credit app, he gets approved, puts a down payment, he buys the car. How long do you think my interview was? I got the job. And I realized something years later, mind you. I didn't realize it that day, but I'm gonna share it with you to save you all years. If you can listen, you can sell. All my best students have been introverts. And this is when I'm looking backwards, I put all the pieces together, right? Hindsight's 2020. Because they stopped talking long enough for the client, their future client, to talk themselves into buying. They shut up long enough to listen for the yes. That's what I talk about in my book, The Sales Success. We talk about asking better questions. We talk about listening to understand. We talk about how to turn conversations into clients, and it's easy. Does anybody think they could have done that? I'm confident you could have. You're smart enough to come here on a Sunday afternoon. I'm confident you could have accidentally asked a few good questions. I'm going to help you do it on purpose. And what I realized is you don't need to be the master of manipulation. You don't need to be the killer closer. You just have to ask questions so that you can hear yes more often. That's what I want for your life. That's what I want for your business. Yes, yes? Here's what I want to do. Can I get that QR code up? Here's what I want to do. I've got so much to give you all, and I just can't cover in 20 minutes or 20 hours. I don't think I bragged about this, but I got to brag more. We all do. Go ahead and fill this out. I'm going to talk you through it. I've been messing up sales for about 15 years. I did it wrong so I could help you all get it right. So I left that job selling cars after I went 2 back-to-back President's Clubs. All right, that's a top sales performance award. I was on track for a third. I was top 100 in the company nationwide out of 7,000 employees, and I quit. I believed that if I got in front of more people, I would give myself more opportunities to hear yes. So I went to an outside sales role, and I didn't know it, but this was my first taste of entrepreneurship. And in this role, there were no leads, there was no website, there was no phone, people to call you. Just like some of our businesses at the very beginning, no one was typing in the name of your business because they didn't know it. I had to go out and find people to sell to. And at the end of, in exchange for your honest feedback, I've got some resources that help me become successful. And I want to help you skip some of the bumps and bruises along the way. Because the first month I was there, I made $0. Okay. Everybody tells you about the $1 million they made last month, but they don't tell you about the months where they made $0. I want to let you know it took me a couple tries to get it right. And then I got it right on accident. And then I got it wrong again. Then I got it right on purpose. I want to help you all get it right on purpose because my second month, I made $7 in commissions. Listen, $7 ain't going to buy you a cup of coffee these days. What is that? A gallon of gas? And I said, man, so I knocked on more doors. I sent more emails. I called more people. I did more. But guess what? Doing more of the wrong things still gets you the wrong results. And so that third month, does anyone guess how much I made that third month? I tried really, really, really hard. That's pretty good. Anybody else? $1,200. Man, I wish. I mean, $300. $300 in 3 months. How long will your lights stay on if you was making $300 every 90 days? That's when people start calling you. They ain't telling you happy birthday. And so I asked myself, and some of you are asking yourself this question. That's why my next book is called Better Questions. But don't skip steps, though. 8 steps to sales success first, and then we'll talk about better questions second. I asked myself a question: what do I need to do differently to get different results? That sound familiar to anyone? So I got up on Wednesday morning. I remember the meeting was at 6 a.m. I brought some donuts with me, and I went to the install team. They were supposed to take what I sold and deliver to the customer. And I thought to myself, I'm going to ask them what happened. I'm going to learn from them about the process, increase my knowledge like you all are doing today, because I know if I get better, my business gets better. So I went into the install team and I said, hey guys, I'm Bruce. Don't mind me. I'm just here to listen. They said, Bruce. And they grabbed me and they sat me down in front of the room. They was like, don't go anywhere. We got to talk to you. I was like, oh, I'm getting fired. And they said, Bruce, you got to stop selling this stuff. Except they didn't say stuff. So it says on my business card, I'm a sales consultant. This is what I do. They said, no, Bruce, you got to stop selling the stuff. I learned in that moment, my training was so bad. Over the last 90 days, I've been selling things that were out of stock, that were obsolete and discontinued. So even though, what's number one here in Yes More Often? Even though I was asking more and more people, I wasn't asking the right questions. That's why I said it's all of them. And so the install team would go to deliver what I sold. They'd look at it, say, I don't have none of this. And they'd delete it. And they'd give the customer a better option. That's why my commissions were $7. It wasn't that I wasn't working hard. I was working hard at the wrong things. Some of you are stuck in your current position in life and business is not because of how hard you're working. We've got to figure out what's the right thing I should be working on. So I asked them a better question. I said, well, what should I be selling? Tell me the 2 things that you sell the most of. I'm just going to sell that. This gave me a list. And I went out and I talked to more people and I made sure they're the right people. I looked for people that wanted to tell me yes. And guess what happened? I worked less and made more. That next month, I tripled how much I made in the first 90 days. And the next month, I doubled what I made that previous month. Somebody say double. And the next month, I doubled what I made in that month. Somebody say double. And the next month, I doubled it again. Somebody say double. Tell me why my income did not go backwards until I left to take a management position in a Platinum 400 company. And so when I wrote this book, I wrote it for me selfishly, but you all get to enjoy it too. I don't want you to spend 90 days to make $300. I want you to double your income frequently. Somebody say double one more time. Frequently. That's important. You can double it in 10 years. Double it in a month. Okay, I'm listening. So my name is Bruce Hill. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. And I have the pleasure of being a coach to some amazing people, hopefully some in this room. I help you hear yes more often without sounding salesy. I help you to turn more conversations into clients. I want to thank you all for your presence and participation. I've got books. If you want to hear more of the story and more of the journey and the things I just don't have time to share, I would love to send you home with a copy. And I want to thank Taria one more time for the opportunity to serve. Thank you for your presence and participation.
All right, y'all. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get ready to do this panel. So we need you to write your questions. And then Brittany, Favor, can you get everybody's name, their name cards from them? And yeah, so write your question down. And then we will pass them up. Can we also bring some chairs up here to the front? Oh, what time? Do you have to go? Okay. Okay, cool. And everybody that's online, we're going to get ready again for our questions. So, and if you have a question, yeah, just put them right here. Yep. Oh, right there. Okay. Here's another mic. Y'all can go ahead and come up to the front. Here, grab one of these mics. Yeah. You want the big one? Just so you can read it. Yes, for a question. Okay, so everybody got their questions passed up. So if you have a question, let me see, pass it on up to me. And thank you so much. I'll come grab it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Questions? Yeah, only 3 questions.
No, it was easy.
Huh? No. Oh, can you write it down for me? Does somebody have a piece of paper?
Here.
Just put them right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Anybody have a question? Is anybody working on a question? Okay. You're working on your question. Okay, cool. And then online. Poor little iPad about to die. I'm gonna leave it up here to now. Okay. All right. So let's scoot over here a little bit so everybody can see y'all on camera. Ooh, I'm gonna stand up.
Oh, you understand? Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and start. I would highly recommend. Let me tell y'all something. What did Bruce just say? He just talked about asking the right questions.
I did.
Ego is keeping some of us from asking questions. Can I be transparent with that? Because how could you not have a question? This is the coach in me. This is where I don't play. Like, how could you get up out of bed and say, I have nothing to ask? Right? So, like, try to, because, like, my thing is this: you never know how one question could be that one thing to take you to the next level. One little simple question. So, anytime you go to an event, if they ever offer opportunities to ask, always try to figure out something to ask, something that can make sense. Because once y'all pass it in, you can't pass it in afterwards, right? So another thing for me is whenever I go to an event, I always come with, because I don't know it all. I don't care how many stages I get on. I don't care how much money I make. I don't care how many clients. I do not know it all. So with that stated, there can always be an opportunity to learn. You know what I love so much about our Book Profits Club family is that all of them are experts in different ways, and they all bring value to the table. And so we even have a level called Speakers Elite, where they're able to actually create a course to teach to our other members, because literally all of us have so much value in this world, right? And so there's never not a time where I do not position myself to learn. I learned so much just from our BPC members. So I just want to encourage that. Okay, guys? All right. So let's get into these questions. I'm going to look. I thought I saw your hand up. Yeah.
We'll say something about asking questions. The value in a good question is it gets a good answer. If you can figure out a great question, guess what happens? You get a great answer. It's happened twice now. I was like, I got to keep doing this.
Okay.
Where I asked a question in front of, I think it was 600-700 people. I was like, oh man, I hope this is a good question. And the question prompted people to come up to me and say, man, I wish I thought of that. What do you do? And I actually got new clients from asking an unrelated question. And so I was like, okay. And then it happened again where I kept it short. That's one of my biggest things. Clear, concise, and compelling. People start telling these life stories. You're like, what's the question? Well, I asked a clear, concise, compelling question, and it made me money again. And that's where I really love what I do. It's not about having all the answers, but it is about asking, what is it that I don't know that I need to know so that I can grow? Even if you don't think the person you're asking has the answer, I encourage you to ask, because it stimulates part of your brain that seeks answers.
All right. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's get into these questions. Thank you very much, Bruce. That was good. Hold on. I'm trying to pull up YouTube. All right. So with that stated, darling. Okay. First question I'm going to ask is okay. I'm going to only ask one from each paper though. So let's see. Brittany, since I know you got to get ready to roll, how long did it take for you to bounce to heal from your divorce?
I love this question because if we're being honest, transformational healing is a process. It's not something that just happens. And you can definitely tell because people will say they're healed. It's just like forgiveness, right? You say you forgive that person, but then when you see them, you mad. You like, you stole my stuff, but you know we don't talk to each other like that. Like, and those be the ones that, and I had to learn that you have to let things go because those be the ones that come in like they ain't did nothing to you. Hey, girl, and you like. Oh. The audacity. So to answer, and then you hear people say, you know what, you gonna play the game, I'm gonna play the game too. Hey, girl, I'm good, I'm great. Good to see you. But then you realize, that's not helping anybody. But when you really do the work, and the work really happens behind closed doors. And if you're really honest with yourself, and do the work, you can be healed. And it takes time, and everybody's journey is their own. So for myself, I'll be honest. I said, I'm still healing, because people do things and they reopen their womb and you're like, okay, but then you realize I have the power to control what I will allow and what I will not allow. And that is where your healing begins, when you find out that you're stronger and you're stronger because of your boundaries. So, I love that question.
That was good. Great, great, great. Okay. So, and somebody over here got some really nice perfume cologne. It smells so good. Okay. Who's it? Did somebody say it was me? You said you think you're okay?
That's right. You gotta take
It
credit
smells
for
so
that.
good. I'm like, oh, what is that? What is it? Is that you? Oh, okay. What am I? Okay, well, we just need to know whatever it is that y'all got. Okay.
Like, both of y'all come over. Let's make sure it was.
So I have a good question here, but I'm going to make it a little bit more specific. This is another thing too. Getting good at asking questions only happens when you ask them. So this is even leading into what you were saying. So some of us might be like, well, I don't know what to ask. Start asking questions, because you might not know, because you haven't exercised the ask questions muscle. There's a muscle for that, right? And the more that we ask, the better they get. And so I even love a question where, okay, let's narrow it down, right? So one of the questions was, how do I ask questions to a person who is my ideal client? But I want to be a little bit more specific, and I'm even going to have Bruce, I'm going to have you tag in, but I want to be more specific to that, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of times we don't know, like, I see this a lot. One of the things I'm always trying to coach on is, who is your target audience, right? Or who is your ideal client, or however people want to call it. And a lot of times we're like, well, everyone. Anybody ever heard that one? I help all people of the world. This can help all people. Yes, it can, right? Yes, it can. But the truth is that everyone may not necessarily need it or relate to it. Your best ideal client is a version of you. It's just you have learned how to do one thing that they need to know. They're literally online right now Googling how to do that one thing you know how to do, right? When we're talking about if you're selling products and services. Now, if we are talking about, and that's fine because it died, but if we are talking about, for example, and I just want to make sure I'm catering to everyone. So you also need to think about, okay, if that is not necessarily like them Googling how to overcome something, they might also be looking for a community. But think about it. And I want to use you for specifically Jamad. But they call him Mod, right? So Mod, he is a fictional writer, sci-fi space, right? Does anybody like sci-fi? I love sci-fi movies, right? And I like sci-fi. I like anything with any kind of adventure as far as any kind of superhero. My favorite probably is Transformers. I can watch Transformers over and over and over and over and over again. I just be visualizing like my car, like, please let me be alive when that happens, right? But anyway, so for example, he's in the sci-fi space. So it's easy already to know who's his target audience. People who love sci-fi. So if I was him, I would be finding all kind of sci-fi everything so that I could be positioned. But what many of us do, we try to go to an event of people, maybe of Black folks, because we Black. But everybody doesn't relate to sci-fi. Does that make sense? So put yourself in an environment easiestly with the person who is you. Now, and I'm gonna have you tagging on that. But another thing I've also learned, because we don't want to limit ourselves, that's the biggest challenge. We say, like, for example, the divorced. When I said that she helps women who have gone through a divorce, who instantly connected? And if you didn't, you thought to yourself, oh, I know someone who need her. Now, the thing is, you know someone who needs her, and you're going to say, I know someone who's going to help you. They're not going to really question because she's so specific. They're going to say, oh, yes, I need someone to help me with this. And so we think a lot of times by narrowing down on an ideal person with a specific challenge, we're going to miss out, but we're not. And then the more that you help people, you will start bringing people to you that don't even necessarily fit in that, because your results speak for itself. If you look at my marketing, as far as like social media, and anything that I do on social media is marketing, even if it's me up there being myself, because I know who my audience is. I know what she deals with. But look, we have men here today. Why? Because I've gotten results. And the more that you get results, the more people will come. Does that make sense? So anything you want to add to that?
So if I could help you or give you a set of questions to help you to turn more of your conversations into clients, how much would that be worth? Think about, and it's not how much I want to charge you, but think about your client. Are they paying you $100? Are they paying you $500? Are they paying $1,000? I don't know which parts. But think about if you could ask 5 to 10 questions to help you here. Yes, how much is that worth to you? That's the question I asked. And then I did what Lena said, and I wrote a book. And I wrote it for you. I wrote it for me, but you all can read it too. So check this out. I don't have time to walk you through how do we ask better questions. I'll give you some very simple tips. But the biggest impact I can have in the shortest time is visit salessuccessbook.com. salessuccessbook.com. So that's a lot of S's in there. Use code BPC. That's Book Profits Club, right? Use code BPC. I don't know how much I gave y'all off. Just because you support Taria, you're always good with me. Salessuccessbook.com. So there's a chapter, I believe it's chapter 8, that talks about turning conversations into clients, and it just gives you a list of questions to ask. So that's the first thing. You don't have to come up with questions. Just use the questions I've already tested. The short version, and that's the long version, right? That's the book will take you about an hour to read. There's bonuses in there. There's about 6 hours of bonuses to continue to develop you as a professional and help you grow your business. So that's the best investment you can make dollar-wise today. The short version is closing-ended questions or for confirmation, right? Those can be answered yes or no. But open-ended questions are for information. Those start with who, what, where, when, why, or how. And that's step 1. That's also in the book, right? So I got this question enough times, I just wrote it down. So you don't have to get the short version. You can get the long version. Ask open-ended questions. That's the short answer. If you're like, okay, how do I do that? What questions do I ask? What order do I ask them in? salessuccessbook.com.
Awesome. And just so you know, because he keep plugging his link, go to the popupworkshop.com and all of us will get your information. Okay. All right. So with no, he's doing what he's supposed to do, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. That's what we teach. But for everybody that is watching, we want you to go to the popupworkshop.com so that because all of us will contact you, and we will contact you when?
Today.
Okay, just making sure. That wasn't really a question. That was okay. Immediately, because everybody that does register, I'm also now. How many of you guys want to do events? Yes. No. Some of y'all like, I don't know if I'm really feeling. Yep. This is an event. Like let me go back to it. 5 people is an event. You could do an event with 5 people and make 5 figures. No, seriously. You literally could do an event with 5 people and from that event make 5 figures. So we got to stop looking at social media and thinking like, well, I ain't ready to do the Earn Your Leisure one. What? You know, the thousands of people and stuff. And you know how many people say they did not learn? Not to say they didn't get value, but when you do smaller, intimate events, it allows you to be able to train more, right? You're not going to get this in a smaller environment. So why am I saying that? How many of you guys would like to learn a tool that you can actually create? How you doing? A tool that you can use to get more people out to your events, where you can give them hotel vouchers, all types of stuff, discounts, things like that. In fact, who would like to get a 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher? Anybody? Okay, if you are registered at the popupworkshop.com, even everybody who is online, if you're watching online, you need to go. Somebody type that in the chat. Alma says, I'm registered. Wait, okay. No, hold on. Noreen says yes. Okay, I see y'all in the chat. Wave says, I want to do events. Okay, I'm going to show you. Not only am I going to give you a 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher, but I'm going to do a free training to show you a tool that I have used for years. Everybody say years. To get people to come out. People like free. You think some people came here because they like, I'm ready to win the TV. When is she going to shut up so I can win the TV? I don't care about none of this. That's why some of y'all ain't had no questions. Because you was like, I didn't come here for all of that. But, and by the way, this is called a seed. And for those of us who believe in a higher power, you never can plant a seed in good ground that don't produce harvest. And so when I look at giving away stuff, does it mean that the harvest comes directly back from that person? No, but the law is the law. And so if you're willing to offer opportunities for people, it can change. Do you know there was a young lady that came to an event and she was like, I have never in my life won anything. Never won anything. Do you know what that probably did for her? And so we always look at a harvest to be an immediate return. Y'all, let's give it up for Brittany Petty. She's on her way back home. I'm sorry. I've been saying it so long. It is now the new name. Everybody say new name. It's Brittany Boss Up. I'm going to get used, so I'm going to get it right. Brittany Boss Up. And, but yeah, guys, sorry for everybody watching online. The camera just really being real ghetto right now. Okay. But guys, long story short, anyways, sowing good seed can never not produce harvest. And so, y'all, I love doing stuff like this because it allows me the opportunity to receive by giving. Okay, Lena, what does it cost to start writing or publishing a book?
Ooh, that's a very good question. So it depends on the type of book. So cost monetarily wise, is that what you're saying? Time wise?
Whatever I don't know.
So
You
monetarily
answer
wise,
both.
yeah,
Yeah.
monetarily wise, it depends on type of book. So of course, a self-help book is going to be different from a journal, different from a custom coloring book. Now, let me tell you, our custom coloring books are not just something you went and get some clip off of online, right? Our custom coloring books are to the fact where I can take a picture of you and I draw you. That when I say custom, it is custom, right? It goes along with the theme of your practice or your clients or who you're trying to reach your message, but the images are custom as well, right? So that is going to be a different price point for rather versus a journal or a self-help book. So I will probably need some more insight on your question, but if you come find me afterwards, I'll clearly tell you, or when I follow up with you today, I can gladly answer that for you as well. Time-wise, we can have something done for you from concept to creation within 30 days. So when we say we're ready to move, we're ready to move.
And can I add to it? It's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So to answer, if I was to even give some additional top of that, as far as cost and price, you first also have to identify what is your budget. So there's different price points too to publishing, right? So you might want it for the free 99. And if you don't want to pay no money, it's gonna look like Pookie and Ray Ray did it. You know, you got a cousin Pookie. Everybody got a cousin in their family. They may not call him Pookie, but you know who it is. He's like, listen, I learned how to use Canva. Let me do your cover, cuz. And
that's what they do too.
And that's what they do. And you don't want to tell them no. You don't want to tell them no, right? But what Cat Williams said, you got to tell them no, right? Okay. So I could have been a stand-up comedian. Okay. I'm practicing right now. Y'all let me know what my set look like. Okay, so publishing, it really depends. But there are some publishers that might charge, if you want to go to a publisher, they might charge you $20,000 to get a book published that you have already completed. So you have to be prepared up front. So let me just give you some of the things that you're going to have to pay for when it comes for the publishing, right? So if you want a nice cover design, you got to pay for that. A cover design can run you anywhere just by itself for a good quality cover designer, $250 to $1,000, right? $250 to $1,000. Pookie, $50. All right. Editing. You need to have someone who can edit for grammar and punctuation. If it is a fiction book, you then need an editor who can edit for the flow of the book. right? So they need to let you know, does this book flow? Does it make sense? Self-help typically is easier because self-help is just instructions. Step 1, step 2, you know, tips and things like that. So that's not going to be, you don't need an editor to do all of those, but many editors, depending upon your word count, you're talking about minimum. It could be $500, $1,500, $2,000. For those of us who have pages that are, words that are over 30,000 words, you're going to spend for that, right? For a quality editor. And then you also talking about someone that can reformat your book. Now, that's not really like a technical term in the book world, like formatting, like a formatter, like hiring a formatter. A lot of times people will hire an editor and then the editor will reformat, but I don't like doing that. And let me tell you why. I don't like to hire an editor to then format, because what if, y'all know we make changes sometimes. We're like, oh, you know what? I need to change this chapter, right? And then you have to pay for them to reformat the book all over again. So I just want you to edit the grammar and the punctuation. And then I hire a formatter who can then resize it, who could put the page numbers, that can put the table of contents, that can make sure that the top of your book, you know, like when you have a book where it is published, you want it to look professional. So, you know, where you have like the header of your book, stuff like this, your page numbers, your boldness on your sub chapters, right? So, yeah, is the camera still on? It went black again. Child, that camera is being so, y'all can hear me though, right? As long as y'all can hear me in the chat, of course. Huh? Yeah. This one is it's just being real. I don't know why. This is what I use all the time. But anyway, okay. But yeah, so you want to make sure that you have a quality formatter, and that's going to cost you like another $500 to $1,000. So a lot of times what people will do is hire a company like Lena because they don't want to go through all the individual parts, right? I don't want to get a cover designer, then an editor, and then a format. I just would rather, hey, here's my manuscript. I just want it to come back ready to go. And so when you have a publisher like her, that's what she'll be able to do. But even with that would come an investment. Does that make sense? And so if you want, on the low end, we're talking like $1,500. On the high end, it could be $20,000. I know people who have gone through publishing companies, spent $20,000, and it's still a year later and still ain't got a book. Longer than that. So it can range, right? But yes, again, if you want to know what her company does, just reach out. But you got to keep in mind, those are the things that you're investing in. Now, to get help writing the book, let's talk about ghostwriting. Because some people are like, well, I just want somebody to ghostwrite. You want a good one or you want Pookie? Because some of us will come and say ghostwriting could be the most expensive part of the entire, because think about it. That's literally someone has to take what's in your brain and then put it into a book. And so $5, and it's going to look like right up the street up there. Right. And so like, if you want, because I hear a lot of people that will come to me and say, Tree, I just want somebody to ghostwrite it. I'm like, okay, what's your budget? Oh, you know, I'm willing to pay $1,000. What? I wish I would, right? That's going to cost money, thousands for a quality ghostwriter. If you're doing a self-help, I'm not going to even recommend hiring a ghostwriter though. Self-help, how to, it needs to come from your words. But again, you're talking about on average, if it's like a book that's going to be about 100 pages to maybe 200 pages, that might cost you $5,000 to $10,000 for a quality ghostwriter, right? I would say at least have a budget between $5,000 to $10,000 to complete the cover, the editing, the formatting, and then everything else that you need as far as the barcode, all that good stuff. So $5,000 to $10,000 is a good price. Does that make sense? All right, awesome. Sorry, I just wanted to add that on in there. All right. Yes, ISBN ownership. That's another conversation. We'll talk about that. Okay. How do you overcome stagnant sales?
How do you overcome stagnant sales? Your current sales conversations today are the result of work you did 30 days ago. There's generally, and this may be a little longer if you're selling to government. It may be a little shorter if you're selling to individuals. On average, though, the activity you do today, what's today? Somebody help me out. It's November 10th. If you go send that email, ask you for referrals today, you will likely see dollars from this conversation as far as December 10th. So the reason your sales are stagnant is probably, just a guess, you aren't asking enough people. It's very simple. I mean, and what's really fascinating is I do something called sales enablement. Does anybody know what that is? It's in corporations. It's the person that makes sure the software is running, make sure the trainings are written, make sure the sales team's onboarded, the sales strategies, they do all of that. But what I realized, and I love doing it, I can't do that until you start asking people. And so everything I write is so simple. There's that word again, because I know if I can just get you to ask somebody, you're gonna make money. And then you're like, Bruce, I got so many people telling me, yes, I'm disorganized. Okay, we'll get you a CRM. You're like, Bruce, I'm talking to so many people, but just a few are saying yes. Okay, we're going to work on strategy. You'll say, Bruce, I'm talking to so many people and I'm having trouble delivering it. We're going to talk about operations, right? But all those are good problems to have. They all start with asking folks. So if your sales are stagnant, the good news and the bad news is it's your fault. It's bad news because you don't have anybody to blame. But the good news is you have the power to fix it. I keep going. All right. So, you want to add anything to that? You've been in business longer than I have.
Lena does a lot of sales calls.
So for me, when I find that I get stagnant, I will find a new audience.
Okay.
So maybe I've been playing in the one pond too long. So let me go over here and talk to this group. They still the same people, but it's just a different pond of people.
Okay.
So that's one of the strategies I use. So go to a different network. It's the same type of people, same things, same entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants.
So you're not telling them to start a new business.
No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no. Same business, but it's new faces.
I love it.
Yeah.
Same business, new faces.
So yeah. Just refresh the pond.
Refresh the pond.
Yeah.
You
I
should
still got the
getting
other
new
ones 'cause
leads.
they coming back. They're gonna come back. So some of them come back a year later. Like you said, you start and then you keep feeding them, stay in contact with them. They're not ready right there. Yeah. But I have to add some new fish to the pond.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you should always be collecting new leads.
Yes.
Always getting new leads. That should be a goal that we should always focus on every single day. Lena, both of y'all actually, what was the most difficult part when it came to writing your first book? What was your most difficult part?
So for me, because my first book came from a creative space, it wasn't difficult. It was my first book was a coloring book. Of course, right? So for me, yeah, right. So for me, it was making sure that the content in it was for everybody else and not just me. So sometimes, especially us that want to help people, even not just coloring books, but especially in the self-help space, I'm gonna write this book because all these things happen and I need to share it with the world. And then they share it, but they don't share the solutions, right? They don't share how they overcame it. They just share all the stuff. So you done went and bled on all these people and just left them there. And that's what happens. And so a lot of times when authors come to us with self-help books that with their stories, they have no solution. So then we have to go back to the drama. Now, listen, I'm sorry that happened. And I'm glad you're here today to share with other people to show them that, that there's glory on the other side. But let's tell them how you made it to the glory, because they leave that all out. They just say all this bad stuff that happened and they forget to tell the parts that helped them, what helped them through it. How did they make it to even write the book today? So that is what I would say.
That's good.
The toughest part of writing a book for me was picking one single outcome. I've done a lot over the years. I'm blessed. I've lived a full life. So picking one topic, as soon as that happened, it was almost easy. Taria, what did we figure out? It only takes about 8 hours to write a book.
Yep. Total 8 hours in the self-help space.
It don't take 8 years.
Nope.
And this isn't a guess. We pulled the data from her coaching program. She helped me write this one, actually. So if it's any good, thanks, Taria. that was it. Once I picked one thing to talk about, it was so much easier. So what's the first chapter? What's the second chapter? What's the third chapter? The challenge becomes, if you try and write about everything, it's the same as trying to help everyone, is you can't, and I believe you can help everyone a little bit. But where you become effective, where it becomes powerful, where it becomes transformational, and says, who can I help a lot? And that's the question I asked earlier, right? Who can I serve with excellence? And so I believe picking one single topic is why this book is so effective. I didn't try to write about everything. I've been doing this for 15 years. I can't get that in 100 pages. So I said, what's the one thing that I could share with them? The same question I asked at the beginning of my talk, right? That's going to make the biggest impact on the business. And when you measure things like that, so I want to help a lot of people a little bit. I want to help a lot. That changes your focus. It changes your energy. It changes your direction. And then what happens is a ripple effect. You end up helping a lot of people in a lot of ways.
All right. So what we're going to do, guys, now, what time is it? I think we have like a couple more questions. This is good. Is this good so far, y'all? This is good? Okay, so we're going to do, let's see. Oh, I like this. Can you give me an example of a setback that you've experienced in your business, and what did you do to overcome it?
We'll be here all night.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
Like
one you want?
2
Which
minutes or
one?
less.
Okay, so I'll start with this. So when I first started our business, because I told you I did the graphic design for like 30 something years, right? As a graphic designer, 30 plus years. So when I'll even say this, when I first started with BPC, I was doing the graphics, I was doing like everything, paint parties. We was doing anything I can use some digital art for. I was doing it, like literally doing it. And then I joined BPC, and I niched all the way down. Got rid of everything. You asked me about a paint party today, it ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
We refer you to somebody else, right? But if you ask me about a book, then I got you. But niching all the way down to just the one thing, like literally the one thing. What's the book that I'm going to make for you that's going to deliver results? That's all I do. That is it. Once that happened, child, the floodgates open. Like in like no time. I didn't change. I have not changed. I haven't weathered. I haven't thought about going back to that, and I won't. But once I niched down, removed all those things that they were probably part of my process. But now if somebody comes to me, can you just do it? You did it for me 10 years ago. Do it today. That's a distraction for me, right? Because now if it's a distraction. I'm glad you came to me. I'm glad you love me that much that you would come back to me. But I have other other things to serve, other people I need to help. My mission requires more. So I just stay focused on the main thing. So my clients deserve that for me to be completely tapped in. So niching all the way down to that one thing, that one community that I serve, and sticking with it. So yeah.
Thank you to whoever asked that question. I think we're so busy.
You're welcome.
Looking at all the success, which is good, right? What's possible. But they don't show you the steps. I think you said that a minute ago. They don't show you the steps, like how do we get to the success? So when you run into roadblocks or you stub your toe, you're like, am I doing it wrong? Or, am I going the right way? And I think for me, the biggest setback was internal, was self-doubt. It was self-doubt. I got a role as a full cycle sales executive. So full cycle means I had to find the leads, I had to talk to them, I convert them, turn them into clients and fulfill them. And it was a tech startup. They were out of the UK that launched in Atlanta. And so I was part of the founding team. I was making 100 phone calls a day. I made 100 phone calls a day, every day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I didn't sell anything for 6 months. And they fired me. Okay. It's just plot twist. That's how the story ends. In sales, if you don't perform, you get fired. And that's really tough because I'm out here teaching people how to hear yes more often. So I don't know what the math is on that. That's like 12,000 phone calls. and nobody told you yes. Like, man. So that was really tough. And what saved me, right? You got to tell them how we got through it, right? Was testimonials. Someone, again, get advice from people you want to be like. They say, hey, Bruce, I was looking for testimonials. I was trying to refer you to someone. I want to send them a testimonial. I couldn't find any. So I don't have any. And they said, why not? I said, I guess I didn't ask. So I went and asked for testimonials. Like, hey, if you've ever worked for me, send me some testimonials. So now if you, and I'll send it to you. But if you go to my YouTube, there's a whole page just testimonials. And I listened to all these people who I helped on accident. I helped from an Instagram live. I helped from a workshop like this. And there's people doubling their income. There's people that felt confident to leave their job. There's people that were launching a new business. And I was like, wow. It was very humbling, but it was very encouraging. And so my lesson there is, whenever you fail, ask yourself what you learned. Because now I know what not to do. So I could tell you to skip a step, right? The problem is phone calls by themselves aren't effective. They've got to be followed up with emails. They've got to match with your social media. So now the phone call isn't the introduction, it's a continuation. Say, hey, this is Bruce. I connected you on LinkedIn. I'm just putting a face to the call. And I'll say, oh, hey, Bruce, you're the guy that teaches sales, right? Yes, I am. And so now we're having a conversation instead of an interruption. And so now, because I made 12,000 phone calls doing it wrong, I can help y'all get it right in just 12 phone calls. And that makes it worth the trouble. If I can help you succeed, it's worth the trouble. So, man, that was tough. That was a tough year. That was 2019. That year, and that's just one of the many things that went wrong that year. It was so bad. 2020 was better. I was like, a break. So that's something that was a big setback. But testimonials was what got me through.
Okay, so I want to share a story as well as far as setbacks. How many of y'all have ever had life happen to you?
Yesterday.
Right, all of us. And so I don't even want to share a setback as far as like a business, because a lot of times we'll see people from the outside in that, man, I just can't wait to get to that level because everything will be great. And the truth is that sometimes when we, what's that? Y'all ever heard that thing is like, you can't ask for a seat at the table, and then when you get to the table, you don't want to eat. Well, sometimes getting this table from the people that we look at that seem to be doing so many things can also be going through the same exact challenges we go through. We just don't know it. So I want to share a story of when I used to be in the industry and what actually was what pushed me into really getting into the coaching. When I used to be in the industry of network marketing, and I've never really told this story on a stage. I've told it on individual settings. So when I was in network marketing, I had become one of the top income earners in the industry. In my company, there was only 3 women of color. It wasn't women, period, that were making it to the top, but it was only 3 women of color specifically that had made it to this top level of diamond in the company. Now, in order to hit a top level in network marketing, baby, you are traveling all the time. It was one month where I happened to be in 5 different states in 1 month. Probably in that same month, I probably went to a couple of countries too, because I used to go to Trinidad all the time to build up the business. And so I'm doing all of this work and traveling and traveling. Anybody ever felt like you just working and working and working and you're just like, where is the harvest? So I'm traveling and I'm doing all these things. I mean, literally doing calls every day. I'm losing friends because I used to be so programmed that it was like, if you want to try and sell coffee, don't call me, don't talk to me, I don't want to do nothing. I've had to learn to compartmentalize people in my life now because everybody don't need to know nothing about my business. Everybody doesn't need to be my customer. My friends and my family are not my customers. They're my friends and family. And I've had to learn that because I lost so many people. A lot of times I do that. They get on social media and be like, the last people to support you are going to be your family. You know your family's watching that. They see you post that. The last people the first person going to support you, your social media friends. Your real friends see you posting that. God put people in your life not to always be your customer. They may not need your product or your service. Why would you penalize? And I have to tell myself, I penalize people for not buying something that they did not want, right? So I lost friends. In this time, while I'm building this business, it was like everything started to crumble almost at the same time. I had a girlfriend, her name was Michelle, may she rest in peace. Michelle was like my dog. It used to be us three. It was three of us, me, Michelle, and Damon, that built this business together. When we first got started, we was like the three. Me and Michelle used to always talk about getting our man, honey, our money. We're gonna move to Houston, be on the wood. Michelle was a pretty girl too, honey. She really didn't, she just, but yes, grab my stuff. That's her. So I had to learn from her how to be, I'm always like, no, I got it. I got it. Right. I'm still working on it. But anyway, so me and Michelle, so I'll talk about that. And Michelle went through a challenge in her business where somebody in her organization was charging up all these enrollments. When I say like 5-6 figures worth of enrollments, and she had made all these commissions, and what ended up happening was they found a fraud, and the company wanted their money back, and they paid her. And so she went from making, 5,000-10,000 a month to nothing, and she had bills. And I remember that moment, like it was tough for her. It was tough. It was weird because we both like alternated in where we made money. When I first got started with the company, I wasn't making no money. I was like, I gotta get a job or something. She was like, girl, we got this. I got you, because she was making the money, and now it flipped. I'll never forget this, y'all. I remember she came, because in the company, we used to always be like, don't talk about the negative stuff. Gotta be positive. You can't focus on, and I used to be confused. I was like, but my bank account say negative. I really don't know. Now, there is a way to do it, but the way that I was learning, to me, was confusing. It's a difference of speaking life and not constantly speaking death, but you have to know how to do that. So she comes, we go through lunch, y'all. I hadn't talked to her in a while because, I'm building my business. And she's like, sis, I ain't got no money. I'm doing this. I'm like, sis, listen. You ain't even got to worry. And I cut her off from being able to just kind of let it out. And I was like, you don't have to worry. If you ever need money, I got you. You just like you had me, I got you. And that was the last time I ever talked to her. We hadn't talked. And I'm so busy building the business, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm just focused. So then I'm in love around the same time too. I'm in love with this guy. And it's about 5 years in. Remind y'all, I was beautiful because we was privately dating, because I didn't want to tell publicly because he was also in the company with me. And they said, like, there was a company policy that y'all can't really date unless y'all married, like y'all getting married and stuff. So I was like, okay, it makes sense. No, it was other people that had relationships and it was public. But for me, I was private. And come to find out, it was because there was a lot of other girls private too, right? But this was somebody who I thought I was going to marry. I was with him for 5 years in my 20s. Mind you, before him, I wasn't trying to be settled down. I was, living life. And so, mind you, all of this happened. Then my grandmother, who I hadn't seen, y'all, hadn't seen her. She's now sick with a cancer that, in the South, don't nobody never tell you really what's going on. So I really don't even know what my grandmother passed from. I just know that they said it was cancer. She gets sick, and I just remember that time. It was around this time of the year because the holidays were coming, and I was like, I ain't gonna be able to make it out there for the for Thanksgiving, Grandma, but I'm gonna come for Christmas. And she was like, well, I guess I won't be seeing you again. I was like, Grandma, what are you talking about? Girl, you tripping. I'm gonna see you at Christmas. It'll be fine. This is all of what I'm doing, building a business. I'm so busy building, I'm losing everything. And I never forget it. They call me, they tell me, Taria. Now, at this moment in my life, not only has the man that I thought I was gonna marry been revealed to be a womanizer. Not only has my friend who I haven't talked to, I found out now she's got cancer too. And by the way, she's passing away within a week of me finding out. I'm now hearing that my grandmother is back sick. Like, Taria, you need to hurry up and come on. They call me and tell me you need to come. Now, mind you, I was making, $10,000, $20,000 a month with this company. I fell into depression, still trying to build the business. I'm not making that money no more. Y'all, I had got so bad I couldn't even run a car. I didn't have a credit card. And you know, if you use a debit, you got to use a bill. Bills are negative, so I'm trying to Photoshop the bill. So it showed that I'm not, I don't know if you could or not. I just didn't want to, I felt like you probably can't bring a bill up here and it's negative trying to run a car, right? You look like you, oh, see, you know, see? So I'm trying to Photoshop the bill so it don't show that I'm past due on disconnect notice. And y'all, it took me like a whole day to get this done. When I finally was able to get it done, and I was on my way to go to get the car, they called me and told me she passed. And I remember the low of the low. From that point on, my life, straight bottom. I went through the worst depression. I remember even being at the last conference I ever attended with that company and looking up ways I could leave this world. I was Googling the easiest way that I don't hurt. And I don't want it to hurt. So they jump off. I'm scared of heights. So that's gonna hurt because as soon as I get to the top, I'm just gonna fall out, right? The other way is with a machine. I ain't doing that. Then they say pills. 90-something% of those people who take pills, it don't work. So, then you're gonna know I'm crazy too. I was like, oh. So I remember that day praying and saying, God, like if you're gonna make me afraid, the one time fear actually worked out for me was when I was afraid to take that action. And I remember asking God, please, if you're gonna make me afraid to take my life, I need to know what I'm supposed to be doing because right now I did all this for this company and I'm now in the hole. Ain't nobody here to help me. I thought this was they telling me I need to settle down with a good man, and I thought he was the one. He a whole mess, and then I'm losing all my friends. What am I supposed to be doing? And I swear to you guys, the fact that you go to YouTube and you search Taria Avant depression, there's a video that I put out where I was just telling my story. It's like I got an answer immediately. And I got a call. It wasn't God that didn't come and tell me. It was a person called me and said, hey, mind you, I'm going through depression too. Going to meetings, putting on a face, going home, taking everything off, drinking wine. And I get a message that says, hey, we want you to host an event. Because I used to do these networking events in network marketing. I want you to host an event for free, get 4 hours free. I said, whoa. Now, mind you, I never thought about going into my own coaching business. I never thought about doing my own events. If I'm getting a free event space, I'm definitely not about this coffee business where I just went through all of that and nobody was here to help me. I did my very first workshop, June 2015. I had 61 people show up, maybe 100 registered. I had vendor tables. And that was where I sold my first 5 packages for $500 and made $2,500. Thank you. I said, and I get to keep 100% of this $2,500. And then when my $2,500 package, I make $250. I was like, bro, I'm done. And it was like at that moment, it was like, I know what I'm called to do. I say that to say, because has everything been perfect since then? No. Have I made mistakes since I became a coach? I make them every day. I have to adjust. I have to continuously keep on figuring this thing out. When you're working with people and personalities, with people with different backgrounds and situations, guys, you have some people putting their faith into you. I'm the only human, but they will. You're going to go through the ups and the downs. It's going to get difficult. It's going to be people you love who are not even going to believe in you, but you still got to love them. I'm telling you guys, this journey of entrepreneurship, Lena, you said it yesterday, the way you said it, it made me feel you when you said this is hard. But if I was to tell you would I change anything, I would not. I love it. I love being help people. It could be a day where I'm just over it and one person will come to me and say, man, listen, let me tell you something. When you did what you did, and you said what you don't even know what you did. That changed my life. A lot of times we're waiting for something to be perfect before we launch. Let me make sure that I cross the T's and dot the I's before I put myself out there, not realizing there's literally someone right now that's looking for your information and they're not looking for it to be perfect. They don't need it to be the way you think it's supposed to be. And so, y'all, there's always going to be challenges. It's always going to be difficult. It's always going to be hard. But on the other side, it's always going to be blessings. There's always going to be breakthroughs. There's always going to be people that are truly, truly changed because of what you did. And so, with that, that's my. You going to say something? Oh, thank you, guys. That video says church on a Sunday. That video is, and I used the song says he kept me because I couldn't let go because he kept me. And oh my goodness, imagine had I fulfilled what I was trying to do. And some of us, we got to think about that. Doggone it, I'm still here. And there is a reason. And guess what? As you take steps into this, it's still going to be difficult. It's going to be, look at this, my whole camera. Y'all that are still watching online, thank you. The camera won't cut on. And I think it's because this energy source is not strong enough for the camera. But that's okay. I learned now. So next time, we'll make sure we get it better. You know how many times I do stuff because I like gadgets. I know for a fact when I do things and my technology be perfect, sometimes people be like, oh, see, it's ghetto. You do it. Do it yourself. And see what you're gonna do, or just pay for 1,000 because you know how much it costs to stream, like $10,000. Okay, not cheap. But yeah, it's like I just be like, I'm not thinking about what you say, Rez. They're gonna do it anyway. Don't care what you think. Heller, I'm Red. That's me. It's my personality. I'm gonna do it. All right, this time just some giveaways. Now let's give it up for Bruce, Lena, Brittany. For everybody, y'all stay up here with me. For everybody that is watching online, I know y'all can just hear me. Again, you guys are all going to get the 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher. I'm also going, hey, Esty, Doris, Kavonda, Daria, Sharon. Amen. God is so good, glorious. So can y'all shuffle these up a little bit? Give her some and give her some. And so, what I was going to say? Oh, everybody online. If you're watching the popupworkshop.com, Lena, Bruce, and Brittany will be messaging, and me too. We're going to be messaging you tonight. We got all type of goodies. You will also get a 3-day, everybody that's here, if you're registered, 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher and a training to show you the software that I use to actually get those vouchers. Another tool that you can use to get people to come out. I'm a big believer. As long as I can get you out, you're going to get it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So get them out and change their life. All right. Okay, so we're going to start off with a couple of books. So I know Bruce has a book. Signed it. Is that the one you're doing, or is that the one? Okay. And then, of course, the other books you can purchase. We got 4 books that we're going to give away. This one right here is Voices of Change. This is a book that we're taking with us to Ghana. So Lena's going. Brittany is going. Brittany's actually hosting one of the days we're doing a retreat. And so we're going to Ghana at the end of next month. We're going to bring the new year in. Some people might be about to move. No, okay. Right. Now, and then we're doing a conference out there. So this book is going. We're working with a nonprofit. How Not to Be a Broke Author by me. And then this is a collaborative book called Coach, Creating Outcomes and Action by Changing Habits. So we're just going to have Lena to pick 4 names, and you'll be able to come on up here and grab whichever one of those 4 books you want. Yes, dog. Let's see. Who are the winners? Okay. What did we get? Go ahead. You got the, where's the mic? Okay. What do we have?
Orrin Hudson.
Orrin Hudson. Okay.
Anthony Jones.
Just grab whichever one you want. Anthony Jones.
Okay, and then we got Brittany Wildner.
Yes.
And Anthony Potter Jr.
All right. Come on up here. Now, our VIPs, y'all might win a couple more times. Okay, grab which one you want. Let them pick which one you want. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do these profit planners. These actually sell for $40, And so these are, and it comes with training that teaches you how to set your goals, how to be able to also set goals based on what's important to you. So not just only what? Oh, so we about to be done. Not only about just building business. How many of you guys set goals like with your friends and family? Some of us, we don't think about that, right? Or like this month, it's a holiday month. So what, might be friends and family or romance. Us single people, do we set time for the romance? I know me. I was telling my homegirl the other day, I ain't got time. She's like, well, you want a man? You better get dressed and get out. No. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. So, but this talks about planning that out too. So not just planning only business. You know why sometimes we set goals for business and we don't go after them? Because that might not be the goal that you need to be setting that month. And it's okay. Like, let's not set goals based on what social media tells us we should be running after.
Talk to him.
So, profit planner. Okay, we got 2 names we're gonna select. Yep.
Darlene Moxie and Anthony Potter.
All right. Anthony about to be the big winner. Being a VIP has its advantages.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome. You got one, but it's 90 days, so quarterly. So you are playing. Oh, good. And you're gonna come back up here to take a picture too. By the way, everybody, let's give it up to Carlos. How many? You guys need some headshots. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Some of y'all got them. The headshot is. It should be head to waist. Okay. He does amazing pictures, y'all. Everybody say amazing. All right. I know y'all can't see, but y'all can hear. And this everybody online, we're gonna do a separate drawing, so y'all need to be registered. Okay. Somebody type the website in. We're gonna do a separate giveaway for y'all for some virtual stuff. Oh, this is the next giveaway. For me to help you with your next event. Just so you know.
Yeah, I want to apply to
Y'all want to apply for that? So for this event alone, just because we look at this, there's over 100. We're probably at over 150 so far. We'll get more registrations before today. People who register. Now, y'all do know I've been doing this for a long time. Generally, when you do free events, and many of them were virtual registration, like people who want to watch virtually. When you do events, you have to take into account when something is free, a large majority of people, the numbers never lie. They're just not going to show up. But just because they don't show up, are they not leads?
Still leads.
They are still leads. And so the fortune is what? In the follow-up. And so we do these events to get leads. So y'all leads, but even the ones right here, leads. Everybody online, leads. And so I'm going to do an event for you. And guess what we're going to do it? Right here. We're going to do the event right here. That means I'm paying for it out of pocket. This wasn't free. This space wasn't free. So I'm trying to work something out with the CEO. I need to hook up. So I will do an event for you first quarter of the year in 2025. Now, I don't know what I would charge right there, but it would at least be $2,000. So
sound low.
That's too low?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
At least $2,000.
Who's the one that said we didn't send in the homework?
At least 2,000. I ain't gonna break the bank. I'm listen, because I'd rather y'all be Book Profit Club members over anything. So 2,000. Okay, so this is
just one.
Now it is up to you to follow up. So if you email me, if you don't email me, that ain't my business. Number one, and number two, if you email me one time and you don't email me again, you don't want it. I'm serious. Like some of us, that's why you're not making sales. You're not even following up with something you want. Well, it's up to me. No, it's not. This was free. You ain't paid for to be here. The VIP, so y'all got the VIP stuff, but you should follow up as well. Something that is yours, you don't never shy away from it. You gotta get. Okay. Woo. Who won it?
The winner is
the winner.
Lena and Bruce.
Hey! Oh man, good luck. I'm so excited.
Oh, real quick, and this can be any kind of event. So if you want to do, let's say you want to do a book signing. We're not going to do a book signing. We're going to do a book. We're going to do an event to celebrate your book. Does that make sense? So I just want to throw that in there. It can be any kind of event, networking. Maybe you want to do a networking event. You may be like, Terry, because I'm not trying to get up here and do all that speaking like you did. We're going to make it work. Okay,
Okay. The actual winner. Oh, gotta love you, VIP. Yeah, yeah,
That ain't bad. Yeah, well, you can get back to work. Well, congratulations, Ann. So do you have an event in mind?
Done. There it is.
Look
There
at that.
it is.
Anthony, look at that manifestation. Can I talk about manifestation too? Manifestation only is the same as saying faith. Faith without works is dead. Because he first got VIP, he got his name entered how many times? 5 times. Number 2, he also showed up. And so the fact that that's the part of manifestation people don't talk to you about, because they tell you all day long, well, it's gonna happen, and you just be sitting at home chilling. It don't work that way. You got to put in the work for the manifestation. Congratulations. Okay, I'm excited. All right. That's about to be added to my new list of activity services. Okay. So now we're gonna do the earpod. It's not Beats by Dre, but it looks like it.
Anthony.
Hey.
Hey, look, Mika about to win a TV.
What's something going on?
Can I drop one?
Here you go. Is that the 5th one? I feel like are y'all sure?
Yeah.
Who's it? Which cards are these?
Oh, these
They was here right. Oh, see. Look, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Okay, we're gonna give away a couple of books, and then we're gonna give away some of this technology. We have 4. It's time to order some books anyway.
That's the winner.
Who's the winner?
Winner.
Oh, just pick 4 though. Okay.
Raquel,
Raquel, Clement, Candace,
All right, Candace.
Pamela,
and
Kamika. Kamika's also VIP. I mean, I'm saying.
To be VIP.
Well said. Thank you, Tavonda. It's been great communicating with you all online. Yes, make sure you guys register. Huh?
Was it coaches?
You got okay.
that's a good one.
Yes, Nine Void. That's what we went to Canada with. Okay, now we're gonna select these 2 tablets. We got one is a Fire HD, and this is an Android tablet. Oh, it's got a little thing, but it's still fine. It'll be fine. All right, you ready?
Jamal,
Which one do you want?
Muhammad.
Muhammad.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what happened when you leave. Oh, well.
Oh,
You must be present to claim your prize.
did he leave? That's my bad. Man.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. And then we do all the winners after this. I'll come up here so we can take a picture. This is our flat screen LED insignia Fire TV. It got the press pass. It got the press pass. You ain't got to plug nothing to it. You just put it in the wall. Connect it to the internet. It works.
You ready?
Last time, my boy won. Yes. You won the TV at the last pop-up workshop. Now, are you using it? Oh, you see what I'm talking about? How it's seen? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Oh, ducky duck, quack, quack. The winner is. Look at her. I got I just published. Oh, congratulations. Sarah, if you need to join the book club, Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna send you an email. Just make sure y'all register. Y'all put it in the chat to pop up where I know y'all need to come to the next one in January. Just be Kamika Henson! Okay, y'all. Everybody come up here that got a gift. That register got their gift. We're gonna take a picture. Please make sure you get with Carlos. You know we need to get some pictures. Y'all need some headshots. If your headshot is longer than 12 months, actually everybody come on up. We'll take a shot. Everybody come on up. What I was finna say. Everybody, y'all need to yeah. Don't block the TV though. We gotta be. Yes. Yes, sir. Okay. And let me get up in here. Can you see us all? Okay, let me sit down. All right. Oh, you know what? I can hold it. Let me hold it so I can put the logo. That's right.
Okay.
Yay! All right, y'all. Well, that is a wrap. But we don't have to go. If y'all want to connect, talk to Lena, talk to Bruce, talk to anybody, please do. Y'all connect with somebody here, meet a person. And hey, y'all. Hello, everybody online. Can y'all see now? See, what happened was the power outlet that we were using, it wasn't strong. So that's why the camera wasn't staying powered up. But hopefully, see, now it's connected. So let me see. Do y'all got some questions? Oh, yes, of course I can. Candace, C-A-N-D-I-C-E-A-C. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. Candace, C-A-N-D-I-S. I know. I love it. Right. We should take a selfie. Oh, girl. Oh, my. Y'all make sure y'all take some selfies to show you were out. Because people want to see that. You can't tell nobody that that's themselves. You're not showing yourself. Of course. See, that's why y'all gotta have iPhones. No, can't.
Queen's the most.
You did tell me that. What's this? I forgot I just set my phone. Oh, that freaky. I sent her a picture. Did you see? You gotta have ice cream.
So I gotta buy.
First of all, being around me, you gotta have Apple device. Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else copy of before they leave?
$20.
No, successful.com. I'll keep record. I think I've already put on your line. Yeah, let me see it.
It was so nice to see the video. No, you know what? BPC, come let's take a selfie, BPC family. And do can we get that in her car? Kamika, did she need help getting that in the car? In my wagon. Oh, look. Oh, everybody watching on the camera's probably on, huh? So if y'all have some questions, no, I want to do a picture of BPC.
Yeah.
Come here, take. Ready? Girl, this is we don't see. Right here, look right. She left. Oh, dang. Oh, man.
Right.
We might take it. Okay, when you come back. Okay. Let me see what y'all talking about. What y'all talking about on? What y'all doing? Let me see. Oh yes, y'all connect with each other. Deshonda said Dr. Kamika was gonna win TV. Oh, yay, manifestation. Deshonda, did you get Dr. Kamika to come out? Love y'all. Sharon Baker Boykin. I know, Doris, we got another one coming up in January. So we're not doing one at December because we have the Author All-Stars dinner. And then we also have Ghana, we're leaving for Ghana. By the way, does anybody want to speak? Okay, come on, y'all, let's get him in the picture. One more picture, BPC, one more picture. Yes. Oh, I'm so hungry.
It told me to scan and it came.
Okay.
Where'd you get?
Oh. My bad.
Yeah, I didn't need. I definitely need men and everything. No, female.
Oh, I'm sorry. You give me. I didn't do that.
Okay, hold on. Oh, what's up? Okay. All right, you guys. Yes, Anthony.
You may have mine.
Oh, the speakers were awesome. Yes, they were. They were incredible. Did such a phenomenal job. Don't worry though, they will be emailing you guys tonight. So if you're watching this, and if you're watching the replay, go ahead and go to the popupworkshop.com. I'm going to be hooking y'all up with a 3-day, 2-night hotel voucher, and I'm going to be showing you that company, the software that I use to actually give you guys those vouchers. So let me just kind of explain the way the vouchers work. Literally, you only paying like an activity fee and taxes. You don't have to pay for the hotel rooms. And it's literally in every single state in the United States of America. And so it's such a really good tool, but they have a ton of other items that you can use. Today, more than ever, people are getting back into the space of wanting to do live events. More than ever, people are wanting to be a part of experiences. And this is an experience. Like right now, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going nowhere, because people love experiences and opportunities. So make sure, guys, that, you know, if you want to start really taking your business to the next level, we got to go back to what we used to do before the pandemic, believe it or not. And that's doing events. If you want to get people out to your events, utilize opportunities in ways. Yes, I do giveaways. You may not want to do the flat screen TV and a tablet and stuff. That's fine. But there's still things that you can do where you can be able to give away to multitudes. Right? Does that make sense, y'all? Type 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Hey, if y'all want to introduce yourself to everybody watching, y'all can. Anybody? Don't be
Where am I looking? Hi, this is Terry Thompson, also known as Judge Terry, and I help youth and at-risk youth avoid the criminal justice system. Let's help your team become the best possible team. You can go to my website, letssaveouryouth.com.
Yay!
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Kamika Henson, and I teach women and men how to properly grieve and heal through writing. Oh, Lord, we have the team website, y'all. Look. Okay, but you can still go to www.griefreleasechecklist.com and get a copy of your free grief release checklist. Don't do it today. Give me a little time to go get it back up and running, But yeah, www.griefreleasechecklist.com. Hey everyone, so I am Nancy Barron and I'm a certified life coach, and I help women who are experiencing setbacks from broken relationships, heartbreak. We've all experienced those, but I help women bounce back from those broken relationships, first to uncover what is in their back, create a new action plan for their life, and hold them accountable to accomplish their goals. So I have a free gift as well for anyone. You can go to bouncebackfreegift.com and you'll get a free gift on the strategy of bouncing back after a setback. So have a good Sunday.
All right. So anybody else want to introduce themselves to the stream? The stream is still watching. We've got people watching.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Pamela Strand. I am a Growth High Level funnel builder and a marketer for people that are looking to start their own consulting business. Thank you.
Did you put your website?
My website is PamelaStrand.com. TAMLASTRANDZ.com.
This will be real short and sweet. I hope y'all had a great time. But do something with what you learned. But put it into action today. That's it. That's the message.
Okay, y'all. Well, I'm about to close the stream. Anybody else want to introduce themselves? Well, we got people watching. They're here. Okay, y'all. Well, don't forget the popupworkshop.com. And we're going to holler at y'all later. God bless you all. I pray that your day is full of peace, prosperity, happiness, and everything in between. Blessings. Bye, y'all. Matter of fact, let me put a little video. There's a video on here.
Ready to kickstart your speaking career or level up your brand in 2025? Join us for the 6th annual New Year, New You virtual conference, a month-long speaking event to position you as the expert in your field. As a speaker, you actually get 2 speaking opportunities, a dedicated 20 to 45-minute slot where you're going to pre-record to capture live energy, and a set-up live panel. But everything will seem live, so people will not even know that it's pre-recorded. And we will also be streaming the panel on the Vision Impact Hour TV show with over 1.5 million downloads each month. Do you need fresh leads? Well, as a speaker, you will receive the full registration list on January the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. We are guaranteeing at least 500 new leads. If you spend ads on this, you would be spending over $2,500. But guess what? You can get all of this for just the investment of $250. But wait, we even have more. Nervous about your first talk? No worries. We're also hosting 2 live training sessions in December to set you up with powerful speaking techniques. We recommend equipment and we give you pro tips that you need to be successful. Your talk will go live each day in January that you are scheduled to speak, and it'll also be on multiple platforms where people will be able to go back and view your talk over and over. Plus, you have the opportunity to join our collaboration book, which is optional, allowing you to make additional money, and you get to order a custom custom premium intro video that will help to boost your marketing. You will transform your speaking career literally by being a part of New Year, New You. Now hurry, we only have 30 spots and they're filling up fast. Don't miss your chance to start your 2025 with impact and visibility. New Year, New You, your stage is waiting.
I just want you to
That is cute. Get the shoes. Lean may see that. I did. Oh, you. Come on. Yes. 1, 2. I know. Y'all. Thank you.
You send me yours, okay?
Yeah, there it is.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, you ready for the last round?
Huh?
Have you did anything last round? You need to blow you up. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. What would you say? But I think I can get you a person. I mean, he's my buddy. Right. Well, I'm thinking one more number. You got all the other. Yeah, so.
Text you.
Well, yeah, in other words, picture your name, I'm sending to him. So call my name. Or you want to call your number.
So what I'm Yes.
Next week. So I okay. So let's just say. Okay. I'm gonna look it up. It might have.
This is.
Yes.